And we are back for like the eighth time today. No, it's only twice. OBS is just getting weird. I don't know what's up with it. But hey, we're back. So, a lot of things happened last session. A lot. You know, there was an incident with a kraken that threw your ride into the sticks because you tried to run it over. Um,
Can't blame it.
and then you
Michael.
finally, that turned out okay. Somehow that turned out okay. Um, I believe you also had a run in with the real Jim Dark Magic, who was the clone of the original Jim Dark Magic, who got sent to hell in another campaign, not our campaign. That was Acquisitions Inc. But so he's a lich now, and he's a warlord of hell, and in because Mooncolor got an amazing, powerful crit, you were able to steal all of his rides.
I
I'm
forgot
sure.
about that.
I'm sure a lich, in hell won't mind that at all. But the main
What's another
thing,
enemy?
the main thing that actually did happen was when we last left off. Anyway, you're running an errand for Bell, the former Archduke of Avernus, current second in command, and he has you looking for some adamantine rods. You went, you talked to a demon that his group had captured. You promised that you would help it, and then as soon as you got the information, you got in your car and rode away. So that's what's happening.
I said I would try to help.
Yep, and then everybody said, okay, let's jump in the ride and go. So this wonderful bleak landscape, that's what you're driving through. As you're making your way to what is called the I have it in here. I just, of course I clicked on the wrecked flying fortress. And
God, Andy, you're so
as you're getting closer to it, usual question, who's driving? Okay.
Michael's on timeout.
Because he keeps running over everything?
Yes.
Michael is manning the wrecking ball.
Okay, no, you traded that one
Michael is sitting in the child-sized car seat.
I forget which vehicle you're driving now. Yeah, you got one with the harpoons and a wrecking ball now. I can't even keep track of what you're driving. But it's a good thing you are driving, because you see some other individuals who might be mortal. They're trying to walk through this section, and they're having to deal with constant firestorms. But you don't have that problem. You just drive right on through. Because the firestorms, don't really have a chance to congregate on you. And as you finally make your way to the wrecked flying fortress, which has... you've seen Zariel's flying fortress in the distance. It's about 150 feet tall. There's about 100 feet of this wrecked one sticking out of the ground. And as you're coming up to it, you can hear the cartographer of the map say, "A weapon made for an archdevil, ravaged in battle and ripe for plunder." So...
nothing could possibly go wrong in here.
Yeah. A towering wreck rises from the scorched hellscape. It looks like a giant sword blade tilted at a 20-degree angle, partly buried underground, and much of it is exposed. The hull is rusted and torn asunder. Hot wind screams and tears through the hollow structure. 6 giant vultures are circling high above. So you pull up and you park. The dude will, get out and take a look at it. Yeah. This is why you should, oil your blades to keep the rust off.
Michael unconsciously hands the dude a marshmallow.
he
Where do you
eats
keep
it,
getting
and then
those?
you know
Where
he
in hell?
remembers that nothing in hell tastes good, and he's like, "Thanks."
It's the thought that counts. But yeah.
It's going to be changed by
So,
peasants.
how are we getting into this thing?
Well, and this is just my personal opinion. We could use the big holes at the bottom. But then he kind of looks in. It's like it looks like a lot of people have done that already because this thing has been stripped of most of the useful stuff at this level. Or he takes a look at the tilted 20-degree angle it's setting at. We could climb up to the top and see if there's an entrance point up there.
Or I could just fly up and take a look.
That's another option. I did not know you had that one available to you.
Michael pulls out his loot and looks to the dude. Would you like to fly with him?
Sure. Although you do also have a flying broom, since there's only the handful of us today. So you take
three of
Moon
us will go
Color
up
with the loot, and the dude will take the broom.
Oh, Moon Color's coming with us?
Well, he can, or he can stay down and guard your ride.
We can let him make the choice. Whatever he's more comfortable doing.
Mooncolor, you could either come with me, or you could stay here and be safe.
He looks over to Trevor. Is there an option of going with you?
If you want to. But
Then-
if you don't want to go in that big tower, you're more than welcome to stay here.
And, you know, he decides he'll stick with Trevor. Sir
I'm
Trevor.
fucking Noah. Sir Trevor, that's a new one.
Well, you are technically, you know, a paladin at night.
Okay,
Even if
yeah.
you're just barely a paladin, you're still.
Ow.
Well, I mean, you saved him, whereas Michael sat back and made jokes with the devil. So,
Yeah, that's true.
Sir Trevor. And
Lulu, what do you want to do?
Lulu can fly.
Michael's going to remove the helm controls from our ride before we go. That way nobody can steal it.
Quick question. Do you have any idea how this machine works?
A mixture of magic and engineering.
That would be the layman's description. How do you remove the helm control?
I unscrew the bottom and pull out as carefully as I can several wires and snip the ends of them off. That way they can't be plugged back in, and just make it
How
work.
do you plan on fixing that? Just out of curiosity.
Make a strength check for me.
He just unscrews one bolt and the entire thing just falls apart.
Okay, you rip the steering wheel out of the console. The dude is just staring at you. It's like, that's very impressive. How are you planning on putting it back?
You know how to solder, right?
He kind of looks at it and is like, this is going to take some work to fix.
Oh, we've got time.
It's a good thing we're not on a time restraint or anything.
Okay, I mean, I do know some metallurgy. I can probably fix it if you give me. I mean, I'm going to have to really get in and do some, you know, I'm going to need to stay with this thing, probably check it out, or I can go with you now. But, you know, if you just want a rough estimate, it's just going to take me a couple days to fix.
That's fine. We've got supplies for a couple of days.
Well, okay then.
It's not going to taste the greatest, but yeah, it's supplies.
Well, I can
Michael, I
always
appreciate
make
the
more
thought.
food if we need it. So it's not the food that I'm worried about. It's the vulnerability of the fact that you just ripped out the control device for the thing that got us through a firestorm. I'm slightly more durable when it comes to fire, you know, because, well, I just because I am. I don't really understand it, but the universe has said, like, hey, you do a lot of work with fire. We're going to make you a little tougher to it. You guys might find, that standing around in fire storms is quite painful, but we're okay.
Let's just go.
Okay, secondary question.
I'll put Hidden Lord on my back.
Okay, that covers, that question. But the secondary
Oh.
question is, what are you going to do with your supply of soul coins? Do you divide them up and keep them with you, or are you just going to leave the extra in a storage bin of the ride?
I don't think we can actually carry him with us, can we?
You can carry
Well-
1 plus your con modifier. Although
that
I will
is-
say, Michael, you're starting to feel the weight of them a little less than other people.
I could technically carry 4 then, because my modifier is 3.
Okay.
So, and then we could say that Frick has 1 or 2. I'm guessing he's just in the pocket dimension.
Yeah.
He wasn't feeling good.
Okay, I think that covers the vast majority of your soul coins then, because the dude, that's one thing he just doesn't care to mess with. But alrighty then, so. Sorry, I don't have, it's hard for me to drop everything and read messages still. Okay, so you're going to cast Fly, and Mooncolor will allow you to cast Fly on him, but for the record, he's with Trevor, not you.
Okay. I can use my
It's like he
witness
feels the
again
need to
in
point that out. And the dude will take the broom of flying, and
If Mooncolor will let me, I will pat his shoulder.
well, yes, he's fine with that. You're cool. Michael
You cool,
is questionable.
You cool. Fuck you.
Michael is very questionable in his opinion. Because while he was being tortured in a stasis field, he remembers the 2 people who were trying to break it down, and he remembers the one who traded marshmallows with the devil and watched. That's stuck in his head.
I regret nothing.
Hey, hello, Crystal in chat. Okay, sorry. Story, we're on it. You're heading up. You're flying up the tower. And
Is there a window?
it's about 80 feet till you see an opening. Unfortunately, though, the those giant flying vultures, they took notice of you about 50 feet up, and a half dozen Vroks come flying at you. Roll initiative, everybody. I'm gonna roll for the dude. I don't remember what his. Oh yeah, he's got
7.
it.
Let's do it.
Okay, let me roll for the rock strike quick, and then I just lost Michael's video. I don't know where he's at.
Let me reconnect.
Okay, but oh yeah, your initiative's good. So, oh, and we're gonna say that the NPCs we're going to go after. They'll go last, so it's just easier for me to have them go last. So it's Michael, the Vroks, all of them, Trevor, and then Dude and Mooncolor, and everybody else gets a turn. Because I forgot to bring up the unicorn. So, Michael, it's your turn. Vroks,
Okay.
they're headed for you.
Are they sort of grouped together in a pattern where I could hit them with shatter quite easily?
You know what? Let me pull up some real quick thing to be the Vrok, and we'll have a little bit of a pattern. I don't have a very good thing for a Vrok, so I'm just going to pull up random. I wanted something that looked slightly better. This will do. Okay. And it's kind of hard to see them on a giant black background. Duh, Andy. Okay, let me bring up the fortress that you'll be soon in. And where's everything on my maps? Everything got pushed so far away. This is supposed to be simple. Okay. So you guys are technically off to the side. So look in the lower hand corner. And this is where these guys are. So we're going to say that there was 6 of them. So they were kind of like flying in a circle, so they're kind of coming down in more of a spiral fashion.
Well, good news is it's a sphere, so.
All right, so we're going to say that they're about like 10 feet apart because I don't have proper measurements going on here. So what were you going to shoot and how much range did it have?
That has, let me just see here. Shatter. Planar ally. Shatter. There's a range of 60 feet, and it is a 10-foot sphere. And so a 10-foot radius. So it's like a 20-foot diameter.
Okay, I will say you can catch the first 3 in it. And what do they need to roll for that? I think it's
I will show you
dexterity.
in just a second.
I can't remember if it's dexterity or constitution.
It is going to be Constitution. Let me just see what I'm going to be casting it as. I'm going to be...
And what do they need to make to beat you? Or what's the DC?
17.
Okay, 2 of them make it because Constitution is their strong suit. One of them will take the full force of it. So we're going to say the first guy is going to take the full force.
So the first guy takes a full force of 30.
Okay.
And then the rest of them, well, it is, let me just check and see here. Shatter.
It's half, so they would take 15 each.
Yep.
All right. And
Creature made of inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on the saving throw. I don't think they are constructs.
they are definitely flesh. It's a lot of bone. It's like vultures, but they got flesh, and they are not happy that you just hit them with that. Their formation does kind of break up, as you know, but they're coming back together, and they
bonus action. My bonus action is to give inspiration to the unicorn.
Okay. Remind me of that when it's his turn. Because now they're coming for you, Michael. The guy who just hit them. Okay, so let me see. All right, it's Beacon Talon. So one is coming in with a 23 and a 20 to hit you. So I'm pretty sure both of those take you, right?
Nope, the 20 misses. The 23 hits.
Okay. So that's going to be 10 points of piercing damage as he swoops by. The second one comes at you. He's going to hit you with the first one, so that's another 10 points of piercing damage. Number 3 comes in for you. Does a 21 hit you?
That meets, so yeah.
Okay, take another 10 points of piercing. And we're going to... No, they did better than Trevor, so we're going to say that the next 3 are less ticked off at you personally, so they're going to go for more of the group. Everybody needs to make a Constitution save, please. Okay, Trevor did quite well, and Michael did not. So, Michael, you are poisoned. That means you'll have disadvantage on some of your actions, like your attacks, and you will take. Where's my proper? There it is. Ooh, you take a full 10 points of poisoning damage. Whereas Trevor, you will take half of that. The dude, he did okay, so he's going to take just 5 points.
Andy,
Yes.
I don't know if it makes any difference or not, but my belt gives me poison resistance, so I technically have that 20. I don't think it makes any difference. But
No, it
if
wouldn't
it
make
was
any
a
difference.
if it was a
uh,
save against poison, I mean.
you don't have the poison condition. You just took the damage.
Okay, I got you. I understand now. I didn't know what kind of poison it was.
Yeah. This
Am I
is poison
am I taking-
spores. So, and I had to figure out everybody else's health along the way, but because I never have everybody on here fully, because I don't plan for all the NPCs you guys have collected in hell. So many of them. Anyway, that was one. Uh, let's do it again with the second rock. Because he's going to drop more spores on you. The
How much
dude,
damage did I take the first time?
you took 5 the first time.
5. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so make a new save. Okay, you're
Anyway.
fine. Michael, you're going to take... Let me re-roll this and get everybody's health proper like. 8 points for Michael, 4 points for Trevor.
Michael's down
Okay.
How are you down?
because my max HP is 57.
How the fuck?
And that also kind of reminds me of the fact that once he goes down, Mooncolor also loses flight as you both fall 50 feet.
What the fuck?
Oh. Okay, I forget what fall damage is, honestly. So,
Every 10 feet, I think, is a d6.
okay, that's better than the 10.
I think it might be a d10. I don't remember.
We're going to go with 5d6 because that was better than me rolling 10s. So that's 16 more points of damage for the unicorn. And Michael, that's 1 death save for you, obviously. And, ooh. Boy, you know, I keep saying I want to make this more challenging for you, but I didn't necessarily mean it in terms of, you know, you guys just not having enough players and running into something that was normally not a big challenge for you. Trevor, the last rock, now that there's less competition, is just going to aim for you personally. And he did not make it. So, I'm going to say the dude is... He's just going to turn around. He's coming back down to help you. So that's his action. And Lulu, because again, I need you would think I would remember to pull up 18 different tabs. But I'm going to say this round Lulu is holding her attack because the rocks are scattered and she doesn't have a whole lot of, you know, personal shots. So Trevor, it's your turn.
Okay, so, like, where are they in regards to us? I know there's...
One of them just came down to personally swipe at you.
Okay, so he's right in my business?
Yes. He is absolutely
to
up in
hit
your
that one.
business.
I'm going to use my bonus action to light my sword.
Okay.
And
Okay, I'm going to double check, but yeah, both of those hit.
so 11, 12, plus 8's 20, plus 18's 38.
Okay. Yeah, that was a pretty decent hit. Let's see. Okay.
Technically, 9 of that was radiant damage.
I don't see anything here that says that they take extra from radiant damage, so
Okay.
they really did
I
remove
never-
a
I
lot
never
of vulnerable. Not too many creatures have vulnerabilities in this system. Maybe it was more of an issue in last system, but it's extra damage, and it's something they definitely can't ignore. Mooncolor is getting up and is trying to decide, and finally revives Michael with 11 HP. It's not much, but it's all he can do. So Michael
Just
is
wake
back
up with
up.
the unicorn staring at you.
And the dude is now having to come back down, but he can only go, it would take, even dashing, he can't do anything other than dash this round. So, Michael, the Vrox are all heading towards you now. No, wait a minute, it's Michael's turn. I'm sorry.
I'm going for the one that I heavily damaged the most in the last time, and I'm sending out 3 Eldritch Blasts to it all at once.
Okay. Shoot those at him. All right. That hit.
Nice.
Okay, all those hit. So you did 11 points of damage. Feel the slightly annoying sting of my retribution after falling 50 feet. Okay. So, yes, he is very annoyed at that. But at the same time, he's got an easier target right here in front of him. So, a natural 20. And his card is
Me or Michael?
on you.
Can't be critted.
No, he's still going to get the damage on you, but yeah, you're right. Stupid armor. What is your AC?
The best armor ever. With the shield is 20.
Okay, in that case, he still hits you twice, but it's not a crit damage. So you're going to take a grand total of 24 points of damage.
Yeah, that kind of tickled a little bit.
And then the next rock comes in. Oh, he got a natural 1, so let me pull a different card for him.
Just bitch slap him out of the air. I'm not that lucky.
Let's see. He is not wearing headgear, so this actually doesn't affect him. But his second
I demand a new card.
His second attack does hit you for 14 slashing damage. The next... Boy, he got enough... Aren't you glad you have that armor? Because none of these natural 20s are hitting you. But you will take
Are you glad I have that armor?
10 points of piercing damage. Now the other 3 are going to aim for Lulu because she's weak and delicate.
Oh, God. You touch my elephant, I swear to God.
Do you want them all to attack you? This one missed twice.
Are they within 5 feet of me?
The one who's about to leave is...
Is he attacking Lulu?
Actually, because he's next to you, he's going to attack you. But first, this one of them does hit Lulu.
If he's within 5 feet, I would like to use Sentinel.
I'll go ahead and let you Sentinel on this one.
Hold on, I accidentally backed out of the thing. I gotta...
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, he hits Lulu. Because I'm pretty sure that you just get to attack him, correct? Or
yeah, I just get to hit one, so...
Okay, so you get to attack him, but he's already struck Lulu. Oh, and
I hit him with the 26, I hope.
Yeah, that hit. But still, Lulu took quite a bit of a hit, and he took 12 points, so...
18, actually.
Oh, 18, yeah.
Don't touch my elephant, dick!
So the next one's going to aim for you personally. And wow, I've gotten 3 20s, and none of them matter one bit on you. But you take another, what did I say their grand total was? 24 points of damage from this next frog.
Jesus!
Yeah.
What's 100 minus 24? 76?
Sounds right, yeah. But hey, it's your turn now.
Do I still have the one by me, or do I have a couple?
You have several by you. There's like 5 of them have personally... No, 4 of the 6 have personally attacked you.
Yeah, I'm going to use a bonus action. Hold on, I'll do that after. But I'm going to hit one. I'm not going to hit one. I'm not going to hit one.
Oh, but I get to draw a crit fail card on you. Your weapon's damage is reduced by half. We're going to say that's for this whole round.
So it's a D4 instead of a D8?
You'll roll your normal and then we'll just cut it in half.
Oh, God,
But it
that's
looks
gonna
like
be
you missed
confusing.
twice, so I guess it doesn't
I
matter.
missed twice.
Yeah, the 14 missed. So, hey, it doesn't matter.
It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and use my second wind as a bonus action to
Okay.
give myself some.
And
Hell.
that's where you get to roll health, right?
Yeah, a D10 plus my fighter level, which is 12.
Okay.
Oh,
All
good.
right.
I get 20 more hit points.
So the dude now is down there next to you, Michael, and he actually can do something this round. I'm trying to find. Okay. No, he's going to go bigger than that. He can spare
Wow.
the extra healing, but I don't have D4s handy, and because who keeps D4s at him at this level? Not me.
Me?
You get 10 points of health from the dude. And Mooncolor isn't much use all the way down here. And Lulu is going to go ahead and use one of her very few attacks to go after the two rocks next to her. They need to make, what is it, a Constitution save. One of them, okay, so she shoots her holy sparks at them from her trumpet of sparkles. And one of them that Trevor had already attacked will take the full force of that blast, which is 22. That hurt him pretty bad. The other one's only going to take half of that, but that still hurt. And Michael, it is your turn again.
I can hand the unicorn a greater healing potion as a bonus action, right?
I'm going to say that a unicorn doesn't have hands, so no.
I'll set it down for him to be able to, like, grab with his teeth and then drink.
He's a
Like
unicorn.
the-
He has natural healing magics. In fact, that's what he will do with his turn. Is he will use one of his. He'll heal himself. So
Right.
thank you for
And I'm
making me think of that.
I'm going to use Eldritch Blast on the rock that I had hit before once again.
Okay, make those attacks. That missed. That hit for 1. Okay, so you did another 5. I just love, like, to me this is
But
slightly
you know
amusing.
it's still damage.
Yes, it's still damage. Unfortunately, though, that's still a whole lot up here, and so they're going to start with Michael again. That one missed. This one hit for 10 points of damage. Trevor?
10 on me.
Yes. He's-
Stop touching me.
The second one gets 14. And then the last one missed. And the next two are going after Lulu again.
Stop touching my elephant.
And one of them hit. And, okay, so...
Again, is he within 5 feet?
Hmm?
Are the ones attacking Lulu within 5 feet of me?
I'm going to say yes, because Lulu was next to you on the flight up.
Okay. Then
So-
I'm going to hit one.
Okay, you
I'm
go
going to
ahead
try
and
to
hit
hit
one.
one. It is a new round, right?
Yes, this is... Well, no, your new round comes up next.
Okay.
All right.
Ignore that then. I can only do that once a
So,
round.
the second guy missed Lulu. Now it's your turn. You've got them all within range, so you can pick whichever one you like.
One on... Which one looks the most hurt?
The one that just attacked Lulu and missed.
I would like to hit that one.
Okay, hit that one. That hit.
25.
Yeah, that hit.
16
Okay.
points damage. Is he still up?
Yeah, he's still up, but He's not happy.
Damn it!
That one missed.
I missed.
Okay. Michael, do you still need more health?
I can do okay for a little while. So
Okay, in that case, the dude is like, all right, I can respect that. And then I'm going to say, not many of his attacks are designed to reach that far up. No, wait, I said they were within 50 feet, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, in that case, the dude is going to strike out with a sacred flame on one. And they need to. What do they need
That
to
was a
make?
shitty roll for a potion.
Okay. Dexterity. See, this is why I didn't want to have to play all these different NPCs, because I had to stop and look at everything. Because his.
Well, we could not have rocks coming after us too. But
Yeah, I mean,
digress.
if I had time to, modify things. But hey, this rock did not make his save, and he's going to take quite a bit of damage as soon as I find my D8s again. Ooh, yeah. He's going to take 12 points of damage from Sacred Flame. And we're going to say he was aiming at the weak one again, because that's just easier on me. And that was his turn. Lulu has a couple more. Yeah, she can do 2 more trumpet attacks. So we're going to say that now everybody is in close, so she's going to be able to hit them all at once. And these guys all just failed. Well, 3 of them just failed. One of them will not take full damage. One is disintegrated by a sparkle attack.
Yay! Go Lulu.
Let's see. Okay, what these guys got. And okay, that's everybody who can go. And Michael, we just had you make your attack, didn't you? Or no, you haven't done yours yet. Okay, it's Michael's turn.
yeah, Michael's going to do Eldritch Blast again.
Okay. That one missed. That one hit. And that one hit. So, are you aiming for a particular one?
The same one that I've been hitting this entire time. If
Okay.
it's still alive, if not, then the
Yes,
next
I just
most
wanted
damage
to confirm before I added up the damage. Okay, so that's one down, and they now view Lulu as the primary target. So one of them's attacking Lulu. This is kind of good and kind of bad. He got a natural 20, but he also got a natural 1. So I'm going to go ahead and pull his natural 1 card. Okay, that really isn't very useful for him. But he does strike
Not a very good
Lulu.
sentinel.
Lulu is falling. And
Yeah.
Trevor, you can use Sentinel now.
I did, and I missed. Plus the 17 hit.
No,
so.
17 hit.
Oh, okay, good.
These aren't the most powerful of creatures.
11, 8,
19.
19.
Okay, so he's still up, but he's hurt really bad now. So that was kind of not a great victory for him. Although the flying elephant is still going down. But hey, that just turns the rest of them on you, Trevor. That one missed. That one missed. That one missed. What happened to you guys? You were so badass earlier. Okay, they were really disoriented by that last trumpet blast, and they all missed Trevor. Trevor, it's your turn.
Can I go catch Lulu?
Yes, you can. That we're going to say is going to take your full action. Let's call that.
I will do that.
Let's call that a dexterity.
A saving throw or just a
Just a
check? Not
check.
a saving throw. Oh God.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
yeah. You catch Lulu before she hits the ground. We're going
Okay,
to say that you
let
did have
me-
to move 30 feet. And I'm going to be nice and I'm going to say that the Vrox will not all get, attacks of opportunity on you because that would just take too long.
Okay.
But they
And I
are.
will use my bonus action to feed her a potion.
Okay, so roll whatever that is and I will give her health.
She's unconscious, right?
Yeah, she's unconscious. Okay.
Gets 11 hit
She's
points
back up with 11.
I was gonna use lay on hands, but that's an action. I don't want to use my action search yet, just in case.
Yeah. Okay, so the Vrox, no, that was Trevor. The dude does have an option. He's going to throw his attack. He burns up another Vrock with Sacred Flame. Michael, it is your turn. There are 4 left.
Michael's gonna go for the. Are they all sort of close together again?
They were right, as Lulu kind of hit them with sparkles, and so they're kind of clumped together. Yes.
Oh shit! I realized I used the deed. Yeah. Whoops! I gave myself too much health on my second wind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine because I mean things like that happen. Michael, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take off 2 of my hit
am.
points.
Are they still like in a 10-foot radius of each other?
We're gonna say that yes because they were all attacking Trevor and Lulu. So we're gonna say that if you have something that can reach out 60 feet, you can get them all at once.
I do.
Okay.
Fireball.
No, I have Shatter, which goes in a 20-foot sphere. So
Okay.
I'm going to angle it so that it can actually just hit all of them in that 20-foot sphere and ignore you.
Okay. So
DC 17 Constitution save.
only one is going to make that. So what's the total damage?
Total damage is 28.
Okay. So they're all going to survive it, even though one is just barely going to survive it, but he is still up. Yeah, that sounds right. And 28, 14 for this guy, and 20. Okay. So there, that was your turn, and they've decided that you guys were not as easy a meal as you first appeared to be, and they are all going to start to fly away now because one is almost dead and the others are just cowards.
I've got a range of 120 feet. Can I still hit them with Eldritch Blast as they run away?
Let me check their range. They were already 50. They can fly 60. I'm saying they're dashing. No, I'm sorry, but you do not get a pot shot as they run away.
Damn.
Oh well.
The dude is like, dude, you should be glad that you're still alive because you weren't alive. I mean, you weren't dead, but you were like right on the edge. You were living on the edge, and you were closer to dying on it.
Living on the edge.
So be happy with what you have because you almost lost it. And now we did lose. Well, you guys lost. A lot of us lost our flight ability. I still have the broom. I'm kind of heavy with all this armor on, but I could probably take a person, but I don't know how we're going to be able to help the unicorn, who is like, a unicorn, which weighs almost as much as a horse, probably a little more.
Take the unicorn.
No, what he's saying is that a horse weighs more than you do. Technically, they weigh more because the horn. It's like, what would you say? The horn is like 5 pounds.
Well,
maybe?
they're also technically like a large creature too. So the average horse weighs between I mean, depending what kind of a horse. Like, is he like the size of a draft horse, or is he the size of a thoroughbred? There's difference.
We're gonna say unicorns are more like a draft horse.
Okay, so probably between 1,200 and 1,500, depending how big he.
So Mooncolor says that he will do his best to climb up, even though it's a bit of a challenge for him. But
Mooncolor, are you okay? That was a
well,
fall.
I did fall 50 feet. That hurt. I'm not gonna lie, that hurt. But I've
Michael
been able.
Michael gives him one of his greater healing potions.
He will actually recommend that you hang on to it because he still has. No, he used up all of his healing touch. He's just going to recommend that you hang on to it because you seem like you die more often.
That's kind of my thing.
It shouldn't
Okay,
be.
I have a.
It shouldn't be though. This is the dude talking. It shouldn't be.
It's how I
Dying
feel
is
alive.
a bad way to live, man. I don't recommend it.
Well, you know what? I have had this healing ointment for like the beginning of the fucking game. So, actually, that's kind of useful though.
Yeah.
Ceases to be poisoned.
I'm
and is
saying
cured
that
for years.
Mooncolor is
that,
just going to say that he still has the vast majority of his health now. And
Okay.
going up a 20-degree angle isn't great, but it's probably better than hanging down here and waiting for those things to come back.
Michael's going to check his sword of hidden doors to see if it's glowing.
It is not glowing down here. But again, if you want to go in and climb your way up, it is possible you can walk in through the holes here, or you can fly back up, because I believe the broom of flying can take you and the dude.
Michael will walk with the unicorn
Okay.
because he's Michael's a butthead, but he's not like a dick.
Okay.
Are you though?
Yeah,
You're kind of a dick sometimes.
when it's needed for character growth of other people.
Okay.
Speaking of what is needed for character growth, look how big he is.
I'm not gonna lie, I have opinions about all of that, but anyway, do you have any sort of climbing gear?
Yeah, I do have a rope, and I do believe I have pitons. Let me check.
Well, you also have someone who can fly, so maybe Trevor.
Lulu, are you okay?
I mean, I'm still here, so thank you for that. But
I got you.
yes, you did. Thank you. But I'm hurt. Oh, wait a minute. I just remembered. I can teleport. And
Before she teleports, I want to lay hands on her for 10 hit points.
okay.
Take the unicorn.
I'm trying to remember. Wait a minute. The unicorn actually also has teleport. He just remembered that as well. It's like, oh yeah. So Lulu is going to use her one time a day ability. Wait a minute.
I just used up all of my lay on hands because I love Lulu.
How much did
Long
you give her?
live Lulu. 10.
10. Okay.
Long live Lulu.
We're gonna say. All right. You know what? I was pretty sure that Lulu has teleport. Oh, wait a minute. Here's one day. Yes, teleport. Okay, Lulu is going to teleport you all to the top because she got close enough that she could see it well enough to get there, and she actually doesn't have an error problem. So, hey, sorry, I wasn't able to visualize it from down there, and it was only when we were here that I was able to. Sorry, I just wasn't able to do that sooner.
It's okay, Lulu.
All right, so
Don't worry about it.
all right, and that means that you are all now up here on the top deck. We're going to say that this is the opening. I'm just going to drop you guys in. I wasn't really able to get the grid to work for this map, so.
Okay, there we go.
So you're up here now. You're in this area. Sparks
So
are
W1 is the top?
that's the room that you were in. It's
Gotcha, okay.
because it still has a roof, but you're not on the roof. You went in through a big hole in the side. So
Okay,
sparks
I
are raining
understand.
down from gashes in the ceiling of what used to be the bridge, which is now open to the sky. The room has been picked clean through rows of stripped down consoles, and a few dangling chains remain. Though a few stripped down consoles and dangling chains remain. So
Michael will loot the console for any of the consoles for like any remaining part.
all right, let's call it an investigation.
Can I assist?
Sure.
Okay. I will give him advantage.
Okay. You do find some arcane circuit boards. You have no idea how you're going to use them, but you have a few. So, in fact, let me do a roll to see how many you get. 2. Mark down 2 arcane circuit boards. And while you were kind of going through those, with Trevor trying to help, Lulu is, kind of been looking around like, oh, hey, look, there's our friends from the war camp place. And she points that out. You see a couple of devil rides coming up along with the tormentor. You can see that they are being manned by the Kinku that work for Mad Maggie, and the Flame Skull is driving the tormentor with a mage hand and a bunch of red caps.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, you're 80 feet. Well, yeah, you're about 80 feet away from them. So, but as you watch, they are pulling up to this, and now they are inspecting your war machine that has had the main steering wheel ripped out of it.
Wonderful.
I mean, if you want to try to yell at them or use magic to communicate.
Michael, they like you.
I don't know if Kyle's still there. Kyle? Nope, we lost him.
Oh.
Hopefully he will return shortly. But hey, you can actually I don't know what you can do. I mean, I know Trevor has sending one time a day, or you can just, shrug it off and keep looking.
I've been using that to talk with Zoriel, I thought.
You can't really communicate, through the planes. We said you were able to send one message with the help of Lulu kind of boosting it. So I didn't imagine you were doing that every day. So you can just ignore them, or you can try to yell at them.
I guess we'll just wait, because I don't think shouting will do anything.
Okay. Well, while we wait on Kyle, do you want to do anything?
So we're here looking for the rods, right?
Yes.
So would we have any idea where in here? Like, is there any idea of the layout of this?
Basically,
is there downstairs?
I mean, you've got several rooms that you can see. I mean, because you're looking around, and you can see that there are different compartments in different rooms, but you don't know which one has the rods were hidden in.
Okay, well, I guess
you don't even know
I
if
will...
they're up here. So
Right. I guess I will start looking over here on the left side, like over here at W8.
Okay. Oh, sorry. There was one other thing I forgot. I was supposed to draw this in. Since the whole thing is tilting, W8 is the high side of the room, and
Can I technically still fly? Has it been an hour?
no, you can still fly, so it doesn't matter to you.
Okay.
But I thought I had drawn this in. Apparently, I didn't. W8 is the high side. W5 is the low side. So
Okay.
for people who do have to walk, those fuddy duddies, it's difficult terrain. But you're just coasting around.
Okay.
All right, so you're going over to W8 and you're looking
Yes. I
around.
like to look through those rooms.
Let me find that one. All right.
Do you like an investigation or a perception? Or...
We'll call it perception. So
oh, good.
this room
I
has
actually have
4
points in
doors
that.
leading off.
Yeah.
And behind each door, there's a miniature console that's with a chair that's been bolted into the floor. And basically, each one has essentially typewriters in it.
Okay.
Corvus will kind of pop in and, visible, and he'll say, "Oh, yeah, this is where the imps relay, they get sent an important message, they type it up, and then they deliver it." I am so glad I don't have that job anymore. It is so dull. Very boring.
And now you're here with us.
Okay, maybe I do wish I had the boring job. You people are so hard to keep alive. I mean, like just now,
We're still here.
I don't really feel like 5 minutes ago was a good example. Michael, are you with us?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. The crew from Mad Maggie has recently pulled up, and you see the two Kinku and the Flame Skull have parked, and they're now looking over your ride. And you're like 80 feet in the air, so you can ignore them and keep looking, or you can try to use magic to communicate with them.
I actually can do. Because I've got sending.
Yes.
So I'm going to use sending on one of the Kenku. No, not the Ken. Yeah, on one of the Kenku to pretty much go, could you leave our rider alone, please?
And he's kind of confused looking. And are you like waving at him, or are you just kind of hidden?
I'm waving at him from
Okay.
all the way up.
All right, so he's kind of confused, and they're looking around. And he's like, and you hear this through, again, even now he's having to imitate someone else's voice. So you hear it as Mad Maggie is like, "Who's there? Can you see us? What's going on around here?"
It's your conscience speaking.
And I will say that you still hear that same static every time you use sending, like someone's listening in. Or, maybe somebody is trying to talk in the next room. It's kind of hard to tell. But they're
Michael's going to throw down a rock after he's written down on it. We're up here.
Oh, okay. So they kind of notice you, and they're like pointing. You think they're waving. And
Michael waves them up.
And I'm just going to take a real quick check. I forget what the Flame Skull can do. The Kinku don't have magic.
Mad Maggie. Let's not bring Mad Maggie's cronies up here.
Yeah.
I don't trust her.
So just give me 1 second to try to remember what a Flame Skull can do. Okay, so he doesn't have magic to really talk to you, but he can start to float his way up, but it would take him a couple of rounds to really get there. But so if you're going to stay and wait, he's going to start to float up there. Trevor has already started looking around, I imagine. So, Michael, are you waiting for Barnabas to come up and talk to you?
Yep.
Okay. So he comes up and still speaking through with that whistle. It's like, you're fried. I can't do a proper.
I thought we got him his tooth back.
No, because you only said, "Hey, he's missing a tooth." You didn't actually help him with the problem.
I thought we
Oddly
did.
enough, people who hang out as with a war band in Avernus, they don't do something just because some stranger tells them, "Hey, give him his tooth back." So no, he never got it back. So even though I can't speak with that kind of whistling sound, I'm not that good of a voice actor. He's like, "Your ride is really broken, like really broken. You want to just take it?"
Michael holds up the steering wheel. Think you can repair it?
The magpies think that they probably could, but it's going to take them a couple of days. You want us to take that back and fix it, and then you can just come back to the war camp and pick it up? Because it's going to cost you 2 soul coins if you want to do that.
That's not.
Nah, we can fix it once we're back down.
Okay. Yeah. And he kind of turns around. Yeah, I think that the red cats are probably going to scavenge a few parts off of it. There's not much I can do to stop them from that. Sorry. And then he starts to float back down slowly.
How far up are we from the red cap?
80 feet.
I've got a range of 120.
Shoot at the red caps.
Michael's going to shoot around the red caps to
So-
pretty much give them the warning of back away.
Okay. Just go ahead and make the rolls, just because I want to see. I know you're not aiming for them. I'm just looking for a critical fail.
Critical fail followed by a critical success.
I know.
But it was only 1 point of damage. Well, 2, but
You were unable to cast spells for the next minute because your mind went blank as the power sort of rebounded on you. So Barnabas just kind of turns, it's looking at it, like, you're not a very good magician, are you?
I'm not even a magician. I'm a bard.
You
That's
should
even
like
worse.
take some lessons from the real Jim Dark Magic. He can tell you how to work your magic. Okay, and he kind of waves at you with his mage hand and starts floating away.
Michael just kind of looks at him and goes, I'm more than twice the magician that dipshit is.
You say that while you're holding out your hand where the magic just... Why isn't this working?
In regards to, like, Jim Dark magic.
I know, but you're saying that after you just drew a blank on trying to cast your most basic spell.
Not even a basic spell. It's a cantrip.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep
basic
looking
spell.
around.
Okay, so, Trevor, while all that was going on,
I was ignoring it fully.
I expected nothing less. So yeah, you were, Corvus was just explaining to you about the signal desk that you were looking at. And, so, okay, you did make a roll of perception. You don't find anything of use here. Like I said, Corvus is just explaining how these desks work. Because there's there's some gadgets where a commander will speak to the imps that are working the station, but it's really just typing out what's dictated, bringing the messages around. It's pretty boring.
All right, we'll just keep going between the 7, 6, on and on.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and tell you, Michael, because the whole place is tilting. So W8 is the high point, W5 is the low point. For those of you who have to walk, it's going to be difficult terrain. So I imagine that as Trevor is finishing up in 8, and head over to 7. That's about the time you kind of get done, talking to Barnabas, and he's heading back down, and everybody, like most of them are getting back into their rides. The red caps and the mad caps are looking for anything they can scavenge, taking some of your harpoons maybe. But for the most part, your ride is being left alone because, well, they would have to tow it because someone ripped out the steering wheel. Not a bad plan, except now it's useless to you.
I'm pretty much like LoJack, only worse.
Yeah. So Trevor, you were going down to 7, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This chamber contains a stripped down metal console and several rusty pipes that extend to the floor. One of the pipes has a 2-foot long gash in it.
Does it look like it was purposely put there? Does it look like whatever was in the pipe burst out of it?
Make a. Let me ask you this: are you like going up and are you just examining it from a distance, or are you going up and looking at it?
I want to go up and look at it.
Okay, then in that case, make an investigation.
All right, we go from a +4 to a +1. I have no idea.
Are you like touching it or sticking your hand up there?
I'm not sticking my hand in it. I'm just observing it. I'm
Okay.
looking to see if does it look like it exploded out, or does it look like it was slashed inward with something?
You're thinking that it's probably a lot of what's been going on. Like if it wasn't, having something ripped out of it, then the wind and everything just kind of eroded it.
Okay.
So in this case, this was a slightly larger pipe, but you don't see any sign that this was. I mean, everything around here's kind of been ripped apart anyway. It's kind of hard to tell what was battle damage and what was scavenged later.
Okay.
But unless you want to, check to see what's in the pipe, you don't see anything else.
Does it look like there's anything in the pipe in the pipe if I look up in it? Or?
Because of the way, I would say that if you want to check that, you're going to have to stick something up there. Because
Yeah, I'm
even
not
with
sticking
dark
my hand up
vision,
a pipe in the middle of hell.
Hmm.
I'm not sticking my hand up a pipe in the middle of hell. That does not seem like a smart idea.
the dude approves of that logic, and then he just looks at Michael and waits.
I have an above average intelligence.
I know, but that hasn't stopped any of you from doing stupid things yet.
I'm going to W6.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know what Michael's doing.
Michael just kind of looks into the pipe, but doesn't stick anything in it.
Okay. With those investigations, you don't see anything, anyways. So, as you come to W6, this room contains two rusty iron crates that one in one corner, and an iron bell-shaped contraption bolted to the floor in the opposite corner. The bell is 9 foot tall, painted black, with several dents and dings in it. Every so often, the bell emits a ka-clunk sound. Ka-clunk.
Hey, Corvus, what's the bell for?
And he kind of looks at it, it's like, well, this is an... Sorry, I got to read past all the checks. I forget you got, someone who can actually just tell you this stuff. This right here was very technical and important. And they didn't tell me what it did. Because I was just the messenger, not the engineer.
Okay. Fair enough.
Or it was entirely not important and was just there to keep time. Because it's like every minute there's a clunk. Yeah, that was probably what it was.
Can I go up and like take a peek under it, see if there's like gears or something? Like it would be like a clock or something.
If you want to make, I'm gonna say like no, you don't see anything like that. This is more magical.
Okay. Oh, okay.
If anybody's got a magic arcana, they can make a check.
Nope.
If not, you can move on to another room.
I would like to look at the crates.
Okay.
They're sealed iron crates.
Yes, there
What
are.
does a 15? What does a 15 on Arcana tell me?
A 15 arcana? Not much. It was obviously something that had to do with the operation, but not enough that you can tell how exactly. And maybe they just ripped out whatever it was connected to that was important. The crates have 20 iron flasks filled with demon ichor.
With demon ichor?
Yes. And what you know is that, for one thing, you can put that for a quick speed boost in your ride.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also, Corvus will tell you, that it's very similar to that stuff that was dripping off of the Cyberex. You don't want to touch that stuff because it can mutate you fast. So, I mean, like, if you want to get some information over someone, you take it and you can threaten to pour it on them. And then if you just want to have fun, you pour it on them. And you see what happens.
So that's going on the list of things that I am banned from touching then.
Well,
Yes,
they're in iron flasks, so.
That doesn't matter with him, Corvus.
Oh, yeah.
I have a journal of the things he is not allowed to do at this point.
Can I see that?
No.
I mean, how am I supposed to keep him from doing things if I don't know what he's not supposed to do?
You're gonna make him do the things.
Only after he's been useful to my boss.
See, that's my point. No.
Hey, some of the mutations are useful.
Corvus. No.
Corvus, it's me.
He's mutated enough, okay? He doesn't need any more help.
Okay. So you are not taking the demon ichor.
Can we fit it in a bag? Because that's useful for our ride.
Yeah. You can put it in your bag of holding.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right, mark down 20 flasks. We're going to say each one is like 1 dose.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So could that like be put on a weapon and used as like a small mutation?
I'm going to say that it would work like poisoning a weapon.
Okay.
You guys won't get the, you guys won't have the poisoner's proficiency, the poisoner kit. You can still apply it, but you won't get the bonuses for trying it. But if you put it on your weapon, it
might work in a pinch.
Yes. It would work the same way a poison would. I would say it would be active for about a minute before it dried up.
That's fair.
So. Okay.
But the speed boost, I think, would be helpful.
Okay. So you collect your 20 iron flask. Where do you go to next?
I guess we'll just keep going down and go to 4 and 5.
Okay. So you go to 4 first, because that is sort of directly in line. All right.
Michael's going to keep checking the Great Sword of Hidden Doors as well to see if that thing lights up at a...
Okay. I'm going to say that because of all the damage, I'll let you know if I see anything, listed here. But so far, because of the fact that there's just holes everywhere, that might be throwing it off. But I will keep in mind that you have that. So you go to 4, and this one actually has like a shut door. There's an iron door there. So, do you open the door?
Yeah, I'll try it. Is it locked?
No, it's not locked. It opens right up. I say open right up. There's the rusty hinge sound, and light floods in. Crouched in a pile of humanoid bones in the far corner and the lowest corner of the room is a hunched gnoll that looks undeferred. It gnaws on a bone while cackling madly to itself. Near its nest is another iron door. Lying on the floor near you is a pair of glass bell-shaped horns attached to some loose wires. They looked as if they were removed from a pair of tall, slender machines standing against the opposite wall. The
Michael, do you
gnoll
speak
does
Gnoll?
sort of turn to look at you, but he just keeps gnawing on that bone.
Does he look like somebody who's been stuck in a room and is completely batshit crazy now?
Make an insight check.
I'm not good at those. I'm okay at those.
Okay. Most gnolls are insanely aggressive, yes, because, they're more or less the descent, controlled by a demon lord.
Oh yeah.
But they're not
Okay.
stupid. They're think of them like orcs. They have enough intelligence to open a door,
Mm.
and they even have
Okay.
language. This one is just, he's not even talking. He literally has a bone in his mouth while he stares at you and chews on it.
Hi.
Grandson!
What?
With that
Me and the
19,
Knoll just.
with that 19, you can see this one is very stupid right now.
Hmm.
You've seen this glassy-eyed look far
Oh,
more
no.
often you probably wish you had.
Oh. Hey, Michael, he's just like you.
Michael
He
just
touched something he shouldn't.
Michael just walks into the room, opens up his arms. Grandson!
He doesn't really. He kind of tilts his head and looks at you, but he doesn't really have any. He's just standing there. The occasional weird cackle coming out of his mouth. The bone,
What
however,
happened?
manages to stay.
What happened? Where did you go?
Corvus kind of leans over to you, Michael. Should we tell him that this is stupid and
No.
pointless? Can we just
I
shut the
already
door
know.
and go on? Maybe?
There's another door here that leads on to something. We need to check everywhere.
Okay.
Okay, Michael, you entertain your grandson. I'll go check the other room.
All right. So you're going to.
Non-threateningly.
Okay. We'll see what he thinks of this.
If I have to punt him, I will, but.
All right.
Michael starts to play some music to soothe the beast.
He is very I'm attracted to the noise.
Oh, okay, there
You
you
do
go.
notice that he doesn't have any weapons on him either. So, I mean, these type of guys have claws and fangs, but most of the time they do carry swords. So yeah, he's just staring blankly at the sound of the music. So, Trevor, you're going to try to slide right on by him and go to the other
Yep.
door?
Yep.
Okay. So you open up the other door. This dark room contains a metal console that's torn free from the wall to your right. Pinned between the console and another wall is a small desiccated winged devil that looks like it was crushed to death. In
Oh.
another corner stands a 3-foot block of infernal iron. A locked safe with clawed feet and a 3-dial mechanism built into is the thick door. Each dial bears infernal numbers written in infernal.
Interesting. I'm guessing the thing that got crushed is another imp.
No, bigger than an imp. It
Ah.
looks more like a spine devil.
Oh. Interesting. Huh. That safe could be promising. What do you think, Orvis?
He's like, I think I ain't getting nowhere near a stupid knoll. They work for the demons. So you guys have fun. I'm staying over here. And Lulu has, been trying to decide which way, finally scoots away from Corvus along with Trevor. And the dude is like, I want to go see the chest or the safe. So he comes over to look at it.
Do you speak Infernal?
I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but I'm going to double check.
Michael does.
No, I didn't really think it was going to be important to learn those sort of languages.
That's
now,
true. Oh, wait.
Looking back on it, maybe I should have. Because, it's never bad to know something. It's always good to know more things.
Is there anything like on the console that looks like it could be like a code or something like that I want to look at?
Make an investigation check.
Oh boy.
The knoll is kind of bobbing with you.
Yeah.
That console looks pretty wrecked. Do you speak Infernal, Trevor?
No.
Then that console looks pretty wrecked.
Could I ask the Hidden Lord? Because if I remember, he can see outside the
yes,
thing,
he can. Right? And he will tell you that the console was probably, I'm trying to double check what I've gotten to the wrong room. Okay. The console was just another piece of equipment. That safe is definitely not standard for something like this.
Is it possible to break into it without the combination, or should we try to figure out the combination?
Which one of them are you asking? Or is this just like a question to the group?
Just to the group.
Okay, because I'm running so many NPCs now. The dude is like,
well, Hidden Lord then. Oh, okay.
The dude like, well, I'll try something, and he hits it with his hammer, or with his club. That didn't do much. He tries again.
Does he go A after doing it?
No. He just kind of whacks it and looks at it. Then he tries again. He tries the third time. Yeah, that's not doing it. And he's like, I don't know much about. I mean, I know how to build a lock. Don't know how to. Well, I mean, you can break a lock just by breaking it, like anything else. But seeing as how hitting it isn't working, I don't know much about, picking a lock.
Michael, you've been hanging out with Rihanna. Do you know how to pick a lock?
Yes, missions of the way.
Yeah.
Stop serenading the knoll and come look at this.
He comes through the door, closes it as quickly as he can, and casts dancing lights. That way they can all see inside of the room and walk.
My sword is out.
Yeah, but this is much better.
I guess I'll resheath my
You
sword.
now have twice as much light in the small room, which is very cramped with,
Everybody.
the four of you, including the glowing elephant. Which
Right,
means
so
that Mooncolor and Corvus are outside.
How do you
With
want
a
me to go
knoll.
about
Did I
this?
shut the light down?
How do you want me to go about this, Andy, when it comes to trying to crack the safe? Because I could do a sleight of hand check, or I could,
I'm not sure what it's saying. It's
ask Rihanna for her.
I'm just going to go ahead and let you know. Make your own investigation check, just so I'll know how much information to give you. Okay.
Oh, good. You did better than me.
As you're looking at this is a combination safe with 3 separate combination locking mechanisms. You don't see any method for using thieves' tools, and whatever iron this is, the dude has already told you that it's not taking damage. This is basically a super strong safe.
So this might be exactly what we were looking for. So
The Hidden Lord would agree, because something like this is exactly what you would put valuable things in, and they aren't always. In fact, they are not normal for being on one of these, a flying fortress.
So what do we know about this fortress? Did it, like, when did it fall? Do we know?
Not exactly. It was just one of the battles with Zariel, because she's been in control for long enough. This is just a loss, basically. They had to abandon ship.
Okay.
The dude will
Well, we
say
could just...
that he doesn't have, the knock spell or the open sesame spell. Like, I know that there is a spell that can, like, open things, but I don't have that. I just, if a door doesn't open, either I leave it. Well, if it had a key, I could replicate a key, but we don't have the key.
Well, we could finish looking around. I think there's a couple more rooms. Maybe we'll find any hint or shit, maybe even a combination. But was there anything on the devil there? Can I look around and see if he has like any pockets? Probably not, but
From what you can
don't-
tell, he probably went down with the ship. So
okay,
he's not a recent dead guy.
right. But like, does he have like anything, like any pouches or anything that might have a number in it? Or I don't think they'd write down a number, but
No, he doesn't seem to have anything on him. He
okay.
was just an unfortunate worker.
Okay.
Michael looks over the console to see if there's anything, on it that might give any hint to the
No, nobody left the combination written on it. The console is non-functional. You can't even guess at what it was probably used for, because it's been scavenged for, any useful parts itself. Do you just want to try a combination?
I feel like this is one of those things where if you put the wrong combination in, something bad might happen.
Oh yeah, because I may not be a thief, but I'm not Rihanna on this occasion. I don't want to end up going to whatever will hold my soul completely naked. So yeah, Michael starts heading back towards the door that brought us into.
Okay.
Well, he'll check the room entirely before he does that.
It's a small room. What you see is what you got. A broken console, a dead devil, and a safe that's just standing there.
What does the Infernal say on the console?
They are numbers, 1 through 10.
All right.
Do any of the numbers look more used than the others?
Not with your investigation checks.
Okay, I didn't think so.
This is, it's not a complex lock. It's just that it's 3 separate locking mechanisms. So,
right.
And considering the fact that, the dude hit it multiple times, I'm going to say, like, it was probably pretty recently made, and it was very sturdy.
Okay. Something tells me that they didn't just have the combination written down and left somewhere, but maybe we can find a hint somewhere or something.
Might be, no.
The Hidden Lord is going to say it's not very secure if you just write the number down on the safe.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's like
maybe, except for people who keep jumping into the river Styx, maybe they would. Hey, maybe you should go check the knoll. Maybe he wrote it down on himself.
Well, I was thinking maybe the Knoll knew it, and that's why they then turned him into this entire gibbering heap that's, in the corner eating bones.
Possible, but stick sprayers are, fairly common weapon around here too. But you can always go ask him.
Yeah, but Michael's gonna pretty much motion to everybody, if I die, don't save me. He's gonna come out playing the lute again.
Okay.
Trevor just shakes his head.
It looks at you. You don't think it has moved much more than to pick up a new bone.
So he's gonna start singing into it in Infernal, trying to get it to actually respond in any sort of.
I want you to make a history check, Michael. You don't recall going into the river Styx because there are blank spots in your memory. If this thing has been affected by the river Styx, it is stupid. And I mean, it is running on animal instinct stupid. There are animals that are smarter than this thing. It has...
Tiberius is smarter than this thing.
Yes. This thing knows just enough to feed itself. And considering it's gnawing on bones, you're questioning even that. But it has no language capability as it is right now.
Granted that Tiberius and Corvus are the two most intelligent members of the team.
I'm not
I
arguing
have
with
a
that.
12 intelligence, thank you.
Would a greater restoration work on this?
It has worked on you in the past.
Michael reaches into his bag and pulls out a pile of diamond dust, murmurs, and then touches the knoll.
Okay. If you cast your spell, you see the intelligence come back into his eyes.
That's a wicked fucking headache.
Not really, because as it looks at you, its whole body ripples. It's not a knoll any longer. It's a death slod. Rolls for initiative.
This thing.
Aren't slots the thing that touch you and lay eggs in you and oh god.
It's entirely possible. Okay.
Oh,
What's this initiative? Ooh, okay. Trevor. No, that's Michael. Then Trevor, and then Dude. Okay, so the slod will go first, and it gets more attacks than I thought. Where's another die? And it's going to attack Michael because obviously Michael was the closest one. So let me see how this goes. Okay, only one of these is going to hit you, but one was a crit fail. So let me. He's not using a weapon, so he can't drop a weapon. But he is going to get you with a bite. So you take 9 points of piercing damage and 7 points of necrotic damage. And that's his turn. And Michael, it is your turn.
Michael just cast Thunder Wave on it.
Okay.
At level 6.
Okay.
DC 17 Constitution save.
All right. He's got good con, but he had bad rolls. So how much does he take? 32?
Yep. And he's pushed back 10 feet, so if he's up against a wall, he's suddenly slammed against it.
Yeah, he was already next to a wall, so
Doesn't Thunderwave affect everybody?
it's a cone.
Oh,
Oh no, wait, it's a cube.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would have been everybody.
Actually, if everybody's behind me, then it's just that thing and everything in front of me.
Yeah, so we're gonna say that yeah, you push it up against the wall. It's still within 5 feet of you, Michael, because the wall didn't allow it to go anywhere. But now it's Trevor's turn.
okay. I will step out of the room, assess the situation, and take a few swings at it.
Okay. So he's
Bonus
standing
action to
in this
relight the sword.
corner. I'm just going to drop you guys where you would need to be. We're going to say you can stand like this, and you can step up right here and get the fight.
Okay.
All right.
I will,
Go right ahead.
sorry. I will use my bonus action to relight my sword, since I said that I sheathed it.
Okay. That hit. And that hit.
26 and 25, so 51. Damn.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Wait, hold on. What did I roll on the die?
You rolled a 25.
Yeah, that was a 16.
Okay.
Never mind.
I'm just trying to double check my math here. Yeah, that's right. Okay. That was a pretty good hit. The dude is sort of stuck in the other room, so he's like, that looked like it was really good. I believe in you. But I'm not actually able to see anything to help out, so.
I can have moved back to give him some room if I can take a step back or something.
That's up to you. I'm not going to say whether or not he can
I'll
heal
take
you
a
from
step
where
back,
he
so.
is, but okay. So
If he wants to take a swing, I'll step back.
all right. So when you step back, it takes a swing at you, but
That's
it's
fine.
going to yeah, it's going to miss.
Not touchy.
What was your AC with the shield? Is 20 or 21?
20.
Okay, yeah, it missed. Okay, well, in that case, he will step out and go ahead and help because it's just the kind of guy he is. And I forget how many attacks he gets. Or does he have any spells that he can use as close up? Yeah, he'll use a Word of Radiance on it because that's something that doesn't really have. Oh, yeah, it's 5 foot, so it needs to make a Constitution save. And yeah, it's going to make that. So it's like, okay. So he utters a word, and a wave of fire seems to erupt from him that doesn't touch you guys, but it doesn't touch the Slod either. And now it's the Slod's turn again, who is just going to go straight for Michael again. All right, that's a 21. No, wait, that's more than that. Yeah, he's going to hit you twice, Michael. So I'm just going with the average here. 9 piercing.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. Well, then in that case, his second attack would go after the dude, who would then take, because, oh yeah, I know that hit because the dude doesn't have that much. All right, so the dude took a bit of a hit. And if you're down, Trevor, it's your turn.
I'll take a couple swings.
You will have to move around Michael's fallen body to get a swing, but you can do that. Okay. Okay. One of the 30 hit.
The 30 hits? Okay. So 17 to 21 plus 11, 32.
Okay. Yeah, you're hitting him like a truck.
Does he look hurt?
Yeah, you've left huge gashes in him.
I would like to
wait a minute, I
action
forgot
search, please.
to pull a card for you. And well, he's not wearing armor, so you can't rend his armor. Boy, the cards are just not really falling for you guys today. But hey, that still was a very painful hit.
I still action surge.
Okay. That hit and that hit. So
23 and 14, that makes 37.
37. Good God, woman. I know that he's been killing your friends, but still. He's not dead, but that was a combination of powerful strikes. He just about cleave one of his arms off.
I do so much more damage with the one-handed longsword than I do with the glaive or the greatsword or the two-handed longsword.
Consider it, like the glaive gives you reach when you gotta, stab over someone's head.
Right. Which is useful in itself, but
yes. But this right here is very quick, and you're able to, get in closer and like drive it through the thing's lung. If it has a lung, it just has one less now. And
okay, I'm dead.
The dude is going to use Spare the Dying on Michael. So you don't wake up, but you're stabilized at 0. Because you were just about to go back to the office, and then the door closed on you.
No, bam.
And now it is the Slod's turn as he.
The Raven Queen is tired of your shit.
The Raven Queen ain't even involved in this yet.
Wait, doesn't something bad happen if we die in hell?
Well, they will try to make a deal with you before you actually die.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 18 doesn't get through your shield, so you only take 1 of his hits.
Wait, is it still 2 if I'm using the Hidden Lord as my shield, or is it just 1? Because I'm not attuned to him.
You didn't attune to him, so it's just whatever the shield is, which...
Okay, so it would be like a +1, I think? Or is it...
No, a shield... I forget what a shield is. Look it up for me right quick. Somebody. But we're going to go ahead and resolve the one that did hit you. So, 9 points of piercing damage, 7 points of necrotic. So, 16 total damage right quick there. Michael doesn't need to make a save, so it's Trevor's turn.
It's my turn again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's only 3 of you, and one of you's down. That missed.
I was trying to find the shield real quick.
Well, go ahead and make your next roll. Yeah, I thought a shield was a 2, and then whatever magical bonus.
Okay, so it's still just a +2 then. So it's still 20.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll make 2 more attacks then.
Well, 1 more attack. You just made 1.
No, I didn't.
The 12. No,
That's
sorry, I was
last...
seeing damage. My bad.
I was gonna say I didn't click anything.
Okay, well, there's so many numbers up here. Okay,
well, I rolled a 13.
One of those hit.
15 and 9.
How do you want to kill this thing?
24.
He was in single digits. How do you do it?
Can I just decapitate it?
Sure. He has a very large, and toad type of head, but because of the weapon you're wielding and its radiant damage, and the fact that this thing it's not a demon, but it's not natural to any world. You cut through it like butter, and his head falls.
Ugh.
Which it starts to fall on the dude who's a big guy, so he's trying to push it back, dude, space, and then it falls down again. It's the bubble. It's the bubble. And finally, he just has to step away and let it fall. And he's like, well, let me see what I've got left in the tank for healing.
I have a potion I can give him.
Okay. Michael has 4 greater healing potions in his bag, along with 4 healing potions.
I shove a greater healing potion down his gullet.
And the dude is going to give you 5 points of health also.
I have 2 spells that I could technically use, but I've kind of been saving them.
Probably not a bad idea of what you're seeing. I mean, the dude has, quite a few spell slots, but there has been a rest since your game last session. So
Yeah.
he's trying.
Thinking we should.
He realized that you guys need a lot of triage at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, and he, you know what? Since Frick's not here, he'll also have access to the Staff of Healing. So I'm going to find that real quick, and when you guys need it, he'll have it. Which is
Yeah,
gonna
after you put in the 1, Michael then downs another 2.
Okay.
So he's now back up to like nearly his full hit point.
Okay. And you got the 5 from the dude?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I'm at 90 out of about
So
140.
whenever he, like I said, the dude still has some more healing spells, but he's trying to be ready for those emergencies. There's so many emergencies. Okay. So you realize that the slot was not there as an emergency open the safe system.
Is there anything in his piles of bones that might be useful?
I'm going to double check, but just bones.
Okay.
Just them bones.
Alright, well, I vote we take a peek at the last 2 rooms, and then if we don't find anything, we rest, and then try to figure out something in a few hours.
Oh, we could start putting stuff back into place. That might help.
We're not... What do you mean back into place? We're not trying to make this thing flyable again. We're trying to open the safe. Unless there's a way up or down from here.
Yeah, there's 150 feet worth of space below you if you want to go down. Although Corvus is like, you found something hidden here, just open it.
Corvus?
Yeah.
Do you know the combination?
No, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't, given to the guy that was left standing there. So they probably didn't hide somebody on the lower floors. I mean, hey, you guys, I'm not, this isn't even my job, so. I'm just going to step back. You guys do your thing. See if I try to help.
See, this is where out of character me knows a lot about combination lock.
Well, Michael isn't stupid. Michael is, at least a little above average.
Well, Danny knows nothing about these things, so...
Oh.
You also have Jack of all trades, so what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
There's, with all combination locks, they have a gate in them that indicates which number to put it on in order to open it up. You can normally feel that out if you have a shiv to be able to note.
Mm-hmm.
You can also feel it by the certain sticking of certain of the gate as well when it actually slides into place. So you can pick it that way. If you know how to reset it back to the default, or if you know how to actually force it into a reset mode, you can then program which gate it will open to, and then pretty much force it open that way by completely reprogramming it to open to whatever combination you want.
The notes just say that it is immune to damage and thieves' tools, but if you want to try to feel it out, we'll call that sleight of hand.
All right, Michael will try to feel it out.
It's going to be a difficult one, but you can try it.
Give yourself...
No.
Can I try?
Sure.
Alright, let's see. I got +2. This will be terrible. Yep.
Okay. So I will just provide this little bit of a hint. Where are you right now?
In W5.
No. Where are you?
Avernus, the first layer of hell.
Okay. Use that and pick a number.
Seven.
7 doesn't do anything for you.
Well, if we're in W5 and we're in the first layer of hell, it would be either 6 or 4, wouldn't it?
The fortress is not a part of this clue. You're in
Okay.
hell right now, correct?
Right.
Okay. Now, imagine what sort of a joke the creators of this game might have used with that information in mind.
Oh, 666.
The door opens right up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I quit. I'm done.
Michael looks at Michael just puts his palm to his forehead and then goes, that's like putting your luggage combination to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The dude's like, but there's only 3 numbers here.
12, 34, 5. That's what he means.
Inside
Okay.
are 9 adamantine rods that have, you know what, it has something about this. Where are they?
This doesn't leave this room.
I mean, it's not like it is the easiest thing to figure out. I just was giving you guys a legitimate chance, to try things first.
I'm not good at puzzles. I have to look up Skyrim Dragonclaw door puzzles.
There are 9 adamantine rods in here. They weigh 3 pounds each, and they have engravings in them. They are in Infernal. Michael, do you want to read them?
Yep.
They say Solar Incendiator Lock, and they are numbered 1 through 9.
I gotta look at one. What do you use an adamantine rod for?
Well, the dude is, actually a blacksmith. It's like, well, you can use it like to fit into something if it was a mechanical contraption, but this does say the word lock. So
maybe it's for a lock of some kind.
that would be a very strong indicator, yes.
I think it's a weapon activation key.
Oh.
That's also a possibility. Have you ever heard of anything called the Solar Incendiator?
Can I make a history check?
Sure.
Or a religion check?
I will let you do
I'm equally
either
terrible
one.
at both.
Let's go with history then.
Nope. I didn't pay attention in history class.
Solar is a kind of angel, Michael.
Right.
Oh!
Yes, I did.
I think it's actually some sort of another weapon that's run off of like our dear fair unicorn friend.
Oh. Do you explain what solar means?
Yeah, it is a type of angel.
Okay. Was Zariel a solar?
I would have to check. I don't believe so.
Okay.
Um,
Maybe it's something specifically made to
I'll
fight
double
against.
check that, but the dude.
I thought she was an Asimir.
No, that's a race.
They're like descendants of angelic beings or whatever.
But
Kind of like how tieflings are.
yes. So what the dude is just going to say is, when you're saying this is some kind of weapon, it's like, okay, yeah, if it was a weapon or something sort of like what they were doing with Mooncolor here, have you seen anything that could hold an angel around here?
Was there like a larger form of the demon zapper? Maybe.
Michael looks at the map.
Okay, let me bring the map up.
Would he be wanting to imprison Zariel with these? Or any celestial being in general?
Oh, there's that right there, coming off of the fortress.
I can't see what you're clicking on. This map is too big. Oh, okay. That weird lollipop looking thing?
Yep. There's the Arches of Pollock.
I'll let you guys each make another history check.
Oh, good. I don't pay attention in history class.
You didn't
Unless
pay
I
attention to
somehow get the-
yesterday, apparently.
Wait, what are we looking for?
You were just trying to remember if you've seen anything large enough.
No, that was in characters. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. It was like, so the dude is also, trying to think. And,
What's the lock arches or whatever?
Arches of Pollock.
I'm trying to remember where that is on the map.
It's right next to the demon zapper.
Okay. I would have to double check that because I don't recall. But the dude got a natural 20, and he's like,
Oh.
I haven't been here as long. The weirdest thing to me, and I want to, put this into context of everything that's weird around here anyway, is that there is a big city with a black orb floating above it. And it's like, oh.
Is that Altaria?
Hmm?
Is that Altaria, the one that's trapped here?
Etriel. And it's like,
Etriel.
and he recalls that 50 years ago, Etrio was being plagued by vampires, and like the leader guy, who he does remember the name, but Andy doesn't. Andy would have to find that. Prayed, and suddenly this big glowing sphere appeared, and it was radiating holy light, and that drove all the vampires away. And he was considered like a hero. Well, even though he didn't really, he was still the leader, but he was the one who prayed and got the big, and then they called it the companion, and it was a good way of keeping vampires and things away from the city. And now the city's here, and the companion is been replaced by a black orb.
Or it's been corrupted by hell like Zariel was.
Oh my god.
That would be entirely possible.
No. No.
What?
Bill wouldn't be this stupid, would?
What?
What the hell do you think would happen with a giant holy weapon in the middle of hell?
Blow the shit out of hell? Or
Oh my god.
Or a fortress?
Yeah, you do that, you suddenly disbalance the entire war effort between everything. He's trying to...
Corvus just wants to drop in. It's like, just a thought here. Belle doesn't like Zariel, and Zariel is the one who's pulling the city down. She's done it before.
Would he be trying to get rid of the city?
That's probably what he would like to do. Anything that makes Zariel look bad works for him.
Okay, so we get this out of here.
That at least maybe gets the city out of here. Wait. Maybe these are something he can use to break the chains. Or that are usable to break the chains. Because adamantine's pretty fucking strong. Clunk clunk of my armor.
Yes, yes it is.
Well, and this is the dude. I gotta get better voices. Did you see any locks on the chains?
I know we looked at them, but I don't remember if we did or not.
You saw huge chains, but I don't recall.
I'm not even gonna bother with history anymore.
No, Michael, you do not recall seeing any locks. The chains are like embedded into the ground and are slowly pulling it down.
Nope, there were no locks on them. But that doesn't mean that these still can't, find some way to either activate the weapon or get it out of there. We need to speak with Bell about it at the same time, possibly see what he means to do. But this can bring us one step closer to getting Zariel's sword. I just hope he's not planning. I just hope he's not planning to do what I think he's going to do, because that's suicide. That's like something that
I really don't think we should be trying to get in the head of bit fiends like Bell.
That might be my entire problem on how I've been acting.
Stop trying to get into other people's heads and figure out your clusterfuck shit first.
Language. That was Lulu.
Who said? Oh,
We're sorry, Lulu.
Forgive me. Lulu's like the fucking mom of the group right now.
Lulu.
So, what do you guys want to do with the rods?
Well, we made a deal with Bell. We need to get him over. Because I don't want to make a deal with an arch.
Did you make a deal with him?
We said we would do this for him in exchange for him helping us getting rid of
Corvus is sniffling.
I can't remember exactly what I said. He said we would get these if he would help us with Zariel.
Yes, he did say, get these rods and I'll tell you what you want to know. And then he teleported you out with his own magic.
Right.
Yep. And while we're there, we could also try and see what we can do.
Corvus is just going to say, did you make a deal?
We made an agreement. I would think that would be a deal.
Did you sign anything?
There wasn't any contract, so there's a pretty good chance he could be like, "Oh, thanks, fuck off now."
There wasn't any contract written. There wasn't any contract signed, but I would think that a verbal agreement would still hold as a contract.
I mean,
you are just so cute.
Again, Michael, we could just give him these things, and he'll just be like, "Hey, poof, you're in the rubber sticks now." But he does want to get rid of Zariel, and we want to help Zariel.
All the devils agree to that.
So maybe we can work out a tender agreement? I'll take the silence as a hard maybe.
I'm thinking. Corvus.
Yeah.
Besides kicking Bell's butt, how else did Zariel manage to get in control here? Because that
technically, I don't know if she actually fought him. All that happened was, and this is conjecture and hearsay and all that. The dude is like, the legend I heard was that, and they're kind of bickering about who's going to talk. But the most what you're getting is that Asmodeus just admired her fighting prowess and her spirit and made her an offer.
What was the story that Zoriel told me?
I don't recall.
Okay,
it all really comes down to like she led a war and she was just fighting on all sides, but when she was overwhelmed and fell from grace, Asmodeus made her an offer. Fight for me, and you can continue to battle to your heart's content. You can say, he fed on her pride and told her that she could still do the same thing, only now she's going to be directed at the true opponent. So it was really feeding on her pride and her arrogance.
Well, it's gonna take us a couple days to hopefully fix the war machine, right?
Yep.
Well, at least we'll have a couple days to get our bearings.
Mooncolor will say, I have the ability to teleport us once per day.
Mooncolor? Just think on that for a second, because that would mean doing me a favor.
Despite that, I am more concerned with the greater good than your arrogance. Despite what you probably think, you are not the sole purpose of this journey.
No, I fully
Lulu
recognize
was like,
that.
yes, this is about saving Zariel, and in doing so, saving Etriel.
I'm getting a lot of L's.
It
Next
is
thing-
a very common
I think it's
thing.
a celestial thing.
Yes, it is.
Next thing, we're going to be running into Zor-El and Kal-El.
Those are a different property.
Well, Zoriel's in Sigil, so.
But she was trying to make her way here. That's why you haven't been able to contact her.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that,
She might
and
be here.
it literally took a small miracle to get a message to her the first time.
Right. Well, she might be here.
So you can spend a couple of
Might begin to
days.
find me and kick my ass at this point. But...
Yeah. So you can spend a couple of days working on that, on your war machine. You can be teleported to one location that Mooncolor is aware of.
I'd much rather get the war machine working because, you know, there's no real escape plan if we just teleport in.
That is fair.
Michael actually talking sense, scarily.
So you all go back to the way out, which is the big gaping hole. And in the distance, you see more war machines coming your way.
Oh, God.
You've got about a minute, so if you want to, well, you can't get in your machine and drive away now because somebody took security measures a little too far.
Can we tell who they're from?
You can make a perception, but it'll be a difficult one at this distance.
No.
I'm going to say, Michael, you see that they are being manned by chain devils.
Chain devils.
And Mad Maggie told you about the different warlords. One of them is the 8th Legion, which was a legion of chain devils who felt like they were betrayed one too many times by Zariel and basically broke ranks and formed their own war band. They are almost entirely comprised of chain devils. And they will, recruit more people or more devils who are unhappy with the current, order of things. And they are led by Princeps Corvic.
So this teleportation thing.
No. I have an idea.
I don't trust your ideas.
I don't trust your ideas. I don't trust your ideas. I really feel like maybe you're not the one who should be having ideas. You see at least 4 war machines coming in.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. We want to get Zariel out of here. They want to remove Zariel. We play this right. We can get them to...
They just...
They're not in the hierarchy anymore. They effectively removed themselves from the hierarchy. They just do what they want to do at this stage. They're still devils, and they're still, they're not as bad as, say, Bitter Breath, who is technically a devil, but he's not even allowed to work with other devils anymore.
That's an epic screw up beyond even my levels.
No, they at least kind of got together and made a cohesive plan. You keep winding up in the river Styx. You see, I keep bringing that up because you keep doing it.
Think of it like this.
You have 30 seconds before they're here.
So
If we can convince them to take us over to Bell's, because we can state to them we have a way of removing Zariel, which we
They don't seem to
Are-
care about removing Zarya.
they absolutely hate her.
They said fuck you to fighting war. We're just gonna do what the hell we want. Do you really think they're gonna listen to two humans, dude, an elephant, and Corvus?
It's either that or they take our ride.
I'd rather they take the ride. Because, I like breathing, even though it really sucks to breathe here, but I still enjoy it.
Well, then let
If
me
they're
try.
not friends with Zariel, I can almost guarantee you they're not going to be friends with Belle.
Yeah, but everybody's going to know that Bell does not like working for Zariel because he's pretty much enforced into it.
But he's still part of the
Yeah,
war,
but
and they're
he's
not part of the war.
still forced to obey. He might try to subvert her, but he can't directly do those things.
All right, then, let's
And we
hide.
have 9 things that belong to Belle.
Then let's hide and see what they do. Because if they end up taking our ride, we're going to be relying on a teleportation that we only have one of, going into Bell's Forge
You can
with
walk.
no other way out. We can't walk.
Technically,
the entire-
you can. You just don't
The
want
entire-
to.
The entire plane of existence here is negatively impactful on us. That's something coming from me.
You
I am
are
sorry.
negatively impacting to yourself. So
Yes,
I
yes,
don't
I am.
feel like you can really blame the whole place when you tend to do a lot of this on yourself.
I think
Like,
having a mode of transportation that keeps us protected from firestorms is actually quite a beneficial thing.
Yeah,
And
I'm
having
going
a
to agree
backup
with that.
plan, having
I
a backup
agree.
plan heading into a forge of an enemy,
You have 3 more rounds before they get here.
we go your way, we have no backup.
Next turn as well, should be getting
We at least attempt mine.
plus 30% unit replenishment.
I don't
We can
think
have
talking to them is
somebody
very
better
smart.
talking. At least I'm coming up with an idea other than hide and watch our ride get stolen.
I mean, we technically stole it.
That is
We
true.
traded up after killing the original crew.
We stole it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Besides, it's
the
not
definition
drivable,
of
so-
stealing. I mean, they were
So,
devils,
like-
so it was okay, but
I can't take the black.
But still, we need to have a backup plan. Letting them take that, and not even attempting with this
Unless
potential plan.
Unless they're gonna tow it, they're just gonna salvage it and probably leave if they do anything with it. Which they might.
Yeah, if they salvage it, we're kind of going to be
They're probably
lost a
your-
lot of our ability to defend ourselves as well.
Surprise! We're in hell.
Covered by the
Yes, and we can actually do something about it
I've got nothing
if
to
we,
have
properly plan. We can do this. Potentially.
Yes.
It's stupid.
Yeah, I
If it's stupid and it works, is it still stupid?
Yes.
yes. That is quite a quandary. It's like, do two rights make a wrong, or two wrongs make a right? No, of course they don't. But if you're doing the right thing,
Andy, has it been 3 hours?
are you talking
Just
about
out
the
of
wings?
curiosity. Yeah.
Since you've got here, we're gonna say maybe it's been 1 hour.
Okay. Shit.
And there you see the 4 war machines pull up, and a group of various chain and beard devils start getting out. A couple of them are going over and inspecting your ride, but most of them are staying in formation.
Michael just motions for everybody to step back and out of view while he stands at the ledge and waves from where he is.
I'm just checking to see if any of these... Yes, they do have telepathy. So, you do hear in your head, who goes there?
Michael Bradmore. Who are you?
We are a terror incarnate. We are the 8th Regiment. You are a lone mortal. Quit talking like you have any power here.
Oh, single individual can do a lot. I mean, I'm not anything like an entire 8th Regiment, but, I might have a way to be able to screw up Zariel's entire plan and strike out.
Are you going to follow up on that? Or do we come up there and we take the rods for ourselves?
I can follow up on it. I just need to ride over to Bell's Forge.
Do you have the rods?
No, Trevor has the rods. No, I don't.
Then you have no negotiating power. We are coming up. If you are there when we get there, you will die.
If I had had the rods on me right now, you still would have killed me just to take them.
And they're starting to climb up.
I'm just standing in the back. So how's it going? Are we
They're
dead
on their
yet?
way up.
Oh, great. So we're dead.
No, Michael's going to look for a way to collapse half the ledge onto them.
Give me an investigation check.
Nope!
This thing was made to do battle with demon lords. Even in its disrepair, you don't think you can stop 12 chain devils from coming up.
12 chain devils?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. We're gonna die.
I've got the ability to dimension door me and one other person. We can get into one of their vehicles and go.
And how many more are in the vehicle? Just out of curiosity.
I'm going to say that they are bringing the majority up with them. So if you want to abandon the vast majority of your group to steal one of their rides, you might be able to get away with that.
Michael looks around and goes, all right, who here can fly? And who here needs teleportation?
Lulu is the only one. Lulu and Corvus are the only ones who can fly. The Hidden Lord's like, you can just leave me with them because all I want is out of this shell.
That was
All
on
right.
our plan to ask about.
I have 3-dimension door spells, so I can jump in with one person, jump back out up to here, and then jump back with another person.
Trevor Mooncolors comes over to you and says, I can just teleport everyone who is willing to wherever you want to go. I can't get us out of this plane with teleportation, but
Get us into one of their vehicles. We'll run off with it as fast as we can. You've got the demon eye.
Sure.
Mooncolor just kind of looks at you out of the corner of his eye and turns back to Trevor. I can bring us wherever you want to go.
We go into
What if we
Bell's
went to
Forge. We are really at his mercy, without any way back out.
But Lulu's like, but he knows where the sword is.
But we have no formal agreement with him to even tell us where the sword is.
I have no idea what you're rolling right there.
That was me.
Mooncolor
This-
doesn't have enough faith in Michael to take his advice on this. He will do as Sir Trevor recommends.
I feel like the safest place for us to go that isn't Bell's Forge or Mad Maggie's would be Aldrich's Grave. Because he may be gone, but there's still a moderate amount of safety there.
It's just an open plain though. After he was risen, he just pretty much left with all of his stuff. So we'd be out in the middle of an exposed.
If that's where Trevor wants to go, that is where Mooncolor will take everyone who is willing. Which sounds to be like everyone. Do you want to bring the devils with you? Corvus is like, hey, you can't leave me here.
We can't leave Corvus, I mean.
Fine, I will bring anyone who is willing.
All right, fine.
Okay,
And with that, just
Wait.
as what?
Danny, question. Bell's Forge is basically a giant volcano, right?
Yes.
Could he take us to like the base of it that we saw that was? Because coming up, driving it, we would have had to see something, right?
Yeah. But the landscape
so
kind of
what if
keeps
we-
moving, so
Actually,
Right, but
no.
take us to like a general direction there, we can at least.
I'm at least going to
We're
Mooncolor's going to get a roll.
We're still going to be exposed out in the middle of the plain. Where's
We
one
have a
place that we
tower.
know? Where's one place that we know that isn't affected by the plane at all?
We
Nowhere.
could go to Arkan's tower.
No. Where Zariel fell.
Yeah, it still moves around.
Everything
Mooncolor,
moves
are you
around.
Angel's
familiar with
Fall
that?
is still a place that moves around, but it's a location that Mooncolor can at least try to lock onto.
If
Now-
anything, it could get us close there, so that's a great idea. I like that.
So
Danny actually forgot that existed. So let's.
you want to go to Angel's Fall?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I think stealing from these guys are just a bad idea waiting to fucking happen.
In that
We've
case,
stolen from a lot of people.
you guys are running out of negotiate time to think about this. So if
Yeah.
3, 2,
Angel Fall.
Angel's Fall.
okay, Mooncolor will teleport everyone to the location that is known as Angel's Fall, and the roll was good enough to get within that location.
Like actually inside of it.
Well, not inside of it. You're
Oh, okay.
more on the outside of it, and
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I am going
Alright.
to bring
Quick
up-
step
bring
in
up-
now.
So you see a giant sand pit. It's actually round, and it is like 5 foot. No, actually, it's more like 10 feet down. But along the ledge are all these ghosts, and they are kneeling, and their tears are falling from them. In the center of the sphere is basically like a crystal canopy. It's like different crystals have all come together to form it.
We need to find a way to get these guys out of this plane. This is wrong on so many levels for them to be trapped here like that.
Well, they
trapped
kind of
or are they
came here of their
protected?
own free will.
Was that Corvus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying that they followed Zariel down here. And they got involved in a fight that they shouldn't have gotten involved in.
It's just a case of having faith in your general and the general making a bad decision. It happens. That's kind of how my brother became who he is right now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's so it's roughly 80 feet from where you are, where you're standing behind their line, to the center of or to the edge of this canopy.
Can we step through them?
Yeah, they're just ghosts.
Okay, so like.
I mean, they're not a physical barrier.
Oh, okay. I kind of want to go look at this crystal.
Okay, so you want to head out into the sand?
Yeah, carefully.
Michael will follow behind, but yeah, he's not going to touch the actual crystal itself. To me, it's what is protecting these souls from becoming,
Corvus
fodder
will
for the
not follow at all, and the Hidden Lord isn't.
I was gonna put him in the bag.
Okay, yeah.
He might be more comfortable in there.
He would almost say maybe you should leave him with Corvus, because if you die here, no one will ever be able to get to him out there.
Fair point. Here you go. I kind of like find a rock to lean him up against.
Corvus will hang on to him.
Oh, okay.
You two enjoy the company.
Yeah, if you're not back in a day, I'm headed out. Oh, wait a minute. There's no real sunrise. I'm going to give you an approximate amount of time to get yourselves killed or not, and then I'm going to go, because I'm not hanging out around here.
I love you too, Corvus.
Hey, I've already saved your life more often than I've saved any other mortal.
He does have a point.
Yes, and that's why I genuinely do love him as a friend.
Alright, let's go check out this thing.
Okay, so you guys start trekking out across the sand.
Carefully.
Okay. It's going to be difficult terrain, so it's going to take you quite a while to get there. Give me perception checks.
Ooh. Finally, I rolled fucking good on something.
Yes.
No!
Michael is very, intent on his destination. But Trevor, you see the ripple in the sand. And it is heading in your direction.
Company. Dude, what the fuck?
What? Where? What is...
I would have pointed it out to him while pulling out my sword.
Yeah, so there's a ripple of sand that is just coming in your direction very fast. You have time to try to climb back out of this pit, or you can prepare for whatever's coming.
Michael's going to prepare for what's coming.
Yeah.
Roll initiative.
How far into the pit are we?
You would have not been very far at all. We're going to say
Okay.
you managed to get about 20 feet out.
Okay.
Okay.
God, the fucking initiative.
Wow.
Yeah, you're
Wow.
not doing great.
That's not too far away.
Okay.
I mean, it is.
Okay. So a giant worm erupts from the sand, and he gets to go first. And yeah, we're just gonna see who he attacks. All right. Michael, does a 20 hit you?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, but the 25 did.
All right.
So, let me just double check here. Yeah, you will take 22 points of slashing damage as his grinding jaws come down on you. Michael, it is now your turn.
I'm just going to cast shatter right inside of it.
Okay.
Do you have any more fly spells left?
No, that's inside. That was I don't actually have fly except for, you know, my freaking loot, and that only has one.
Okay.
Is it a construct, by the way?
No. So roll the. Okay, and that's a Constitution. Yeah, he's only going to take half of that. So.
And I'm going to use my bonus to give bardic inspiration to.
So, question, Michael. I am not at full health. I am out of all of my extra shit. Should we have a tactical retreat?
We should probably step outside of this arena, but it's going to be difficult. I'll try to keep its attention on me as best as I can.
The dude will hand Trevor the broom of flying, and he will cast a spiritual weapon. And he's going to do that at his highest level. Oh, no, he can't do it at his highest level. He's already used that one. But he can do it, yes, over here. So he's going to use second highest level to cast spiritual weapon. And a big forge hammer appears.
Nice.
And let's see, I think he just gets to do an attack. But that doesn't hit. But anyway, he gives you that the broom of flying, Trevor, and he says, you know, you can use this to make a run for it. And it's Trevor's turn.
So I can do that, and Michael can grab Dude and Dimension Door.
If that's what you want to do, it's, I mean, it's your action.
Does that sound like a plan, Michael?
What does that mean for Mr. Unicorn and the Flying Elephant?
The flying elephant is a flying elephant. And
that puts Mr. Unicorn back into a position where he's
I'm
screwed.
going to say that the unicorn didn't come out into the sand with you.
Okay.
However, you need to make your choice right now because you're about to lose your turn.
Okay, I will fly and grab Lulu as I go. Okay. I know she can fly, but
yeah,
I'll take a hand if I have to.
Okay, well, he missed when he went for you. So now he's just going to go for Michael, who is the only one there, and he missed. Michael, it is your turn.
Michael's going to grab the cleric in a hug, and they blink out of existence and back to where they were at the very beginning of this.
Okay, so you're back. You're back on the ledge, and you see the worm kind of look around for you for a moment, and then he just goes back into the sand, and you don't know where he is.
Lesson learned.
Michael sits down next to one of the ghosts. Just goes, "You okay?"
He doesn't really acknowledge you. He just continues to cry.
This is really depressing. I mean, we're in hell, but...
That just makes it all the more depressing.
Well, I mean, devils and demons seem to avoid this spot, so maybe throwing up the tower might be a safe idea. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good. Michael throws up the tower.
Okay.
Then I vote we take a long rest.
Yeah, I vote so as well.
Okay.
I'll stay up and take a watch.
All right. Give me a perception check.
You good. Nope.
Yeah, you just see the crying specters.
Michael will take the next watch.
Okay, give me a check. You just see a bunch of crying specters.
We're gonna get fucking bushwhacked. Again.
Okay,
Oh,
so
boy.
the night goes by. In the distance, you continue to hear the normal sounds of battle that never really seem to go away. But because you're right here, there's just the soft crying of hundreds of specters.
I can't do anything to
Their
get them
salt
out of
tears
this.
just add to the great sand pit.
I want to do something to get them out of here, but there's nothing I can do, is there?
I'm not sure we should do anything.
What did they
Because
do wrong? What did they do wrong?
But they're not
They
damned to
made a
hell.
foolish choice and followed someone into a no-win situation. See, this is the thing I keep telling you. Mortals have choice. You are responsible for what you do. Even when you follow the right path, as you always like to put it, you can still wind up here with us. They don't even serve a purpose anymore. They're just shadows of whatever they used to be.
They're a reminder to think for yourself and not just follow the orders of somebody above you. In a way. Or maybe I'm just talking about myself. I don't know.
I can see that for some, but not for all of them. I mean, some of them will have seen that there was a choice, and
they made they made their choice to follow Zariel here.
Yeah,
but they don't. It almost looks like, I don't know. They're not corrupted, so they're just, maybe it just pains them so much to see that this person that they revered and loved fell, and that anguish has stuck with them in their afterlife.
Lulu is very quiet during this part of the conversation.
What do you remember, Lulu?
She doesn't really say anything. She'll just kind of look out one of the what passes for a window inside the fort.
Can I just like pet her little head?
And Corvus is just over to the side, and he said his piece.
Maybe if we can help redeem Zariel, we can help in a way redeem them. Because they're not damned. They're just... They... Like Corvus said, they made a decision.
Corvus, what does that say about you, then? You constantly talk about how you're just doing your nature. Don't you have a choice?
Mortals have a choice. That is not a gift that is given to the rest of us.
You can die here.
Hey, ask your little elephant friend there how much of a choice she has and what she can do. Zariel made a choice that went against her nature, and now she rules this whole place. Kind of a trade up if you ask me, but still. When we go against our nature, this is what happens. I don't even have as much power as Zariel did, but she broke her nature and she fell.
You keep talking about how demons and devils are created from, taking a soul and just making it blank and the river Styx, right?
It's more complicated than that.
So, in order for you yourself to become what you are, you had to have been a mortal soul at one point.
Maybe I was just formed from all of the bits that they fished out of the river Styx later on and compressed into a new soul. What I was before doesn't matter. I am what I am now.
Yeah,
I do not have a prior life that I can recall, so it doesn't matter what I did then. Now I am Corvus, and I am bound by Asmodeus to do my job. I have leeway in how I can do that job, but I am a servant of hell. I can't change. You were given one of the greatest gifts. They used that gift to make a choice to follow an angel into the greatest battle of their lives. That was their reward.
It's just as much a curse as it is a gift. The weight of it is ours to bear, but at the same time, there's nothing really that in the grand scheme of things we can actually do to actually change anything about this. We don't have so much free will as we do have a way to just make ourselves less miserable in a day-to-day existence.
Do you really can potentially
look around. We've been working quite hard at even changing our own natures. And have we actually done that? I've not lost hope that it can be done. I'm just saying...
So pretty much we're all screwed no matter what.
So you might as well just go ahead and sign on with Asmodeus, and at least then you can protect the rest of existence. Because that's what we do down here.
Corvus, what happens if your kind does win the war?
You ask that as if I'm the general.
No, I ask that of you as a person who's, well, as a creature that has foresight, the ability to think. What do you see happening after that?
This war has been going on since the dawn of existence. I don't see it ending tomorrow. I don't see it ending in 1,000 years. I don't bother with what will happen next. I do my job now.
You have the potential to be there, though.
Yes.
You are not like us. You can exist beyond that, which is temporary
and
and in the
to
night.
push into the abyss and take it over little by little, I'll start to wonder what's going to happen then. But 100 years ago, I was a messenger and a spy. 20 years ago, I got called up by some random mortal who wound up getting himself killed after a number of years, and then I just got to wander around the material plane till I met you guys. I have what I am capable of doing, but at the end of the day, my job is to serve the will of the nine hells.
Yeah, but you still want to go up back to the material plane.
No, I want to get promoted. Now, going back to the material plane is a twofer in that I can collect more souls, and I don't have to be here where, I might get eaten by a giant worm or have to fish some guy out of the sticks every other day. There are levels in comfort. There's a lot more comfort.
Orvis, or you're where you are just as mortal as we are.
And what's your point?
My point is, you're not actually immortal. You are just as mortal as we are on this plane of existence. Yeah. But to call us just mere mortals when you have a way to actually die, that makes you just as mortal.
No.
You're longer lived, but you are just as mortal.
There's mortality, and then there's mortal. Mortals get to choose what they do. You keep pointing at them and saying, this isn't right, we got to help them. Do you? Are you choosing to try to find a way to help them? You don't have to do anything. You can leave this place if you try hard enough. You chose to help that glowing elephant on her quest. No one's making you do anything.
And nobody's making you to be here
yes,
with us.
They are.
You have a contract. Well, you have an enforced part of making sure that I hold on to my end of the contract with the other. Now that
I can choose.
That actually,
when I was on the mortal plane, I chose to hang around you. Yes, because I have discretion in how I do my job. But you know what? You also helped me to bag a soul. Then I managed to get more souls just by hanging around you.
Wouldn't discretion be a choice?
You guys are actually very easily corrupted.
Here's the thing, though. Isn't discretion a choice?
Within my bounds. I can't leave here unless someone calls me out.
So, legends of creatures of your type actually leaving here are just what?
We find a portal. A mortal will open a portal here, and they call one of us to them. Now, if you're powerful enough, you kill the person who called you, and then you get to run free for as long as you can on the material plane. And yes, Trevor, it is the next morning. So you've all got your health back.
Yay. Do I have my spells back?
Yeah, it was a long rest. You've just been spending the last hour arguing with Corvus over a topic I'm not even sure why we're discussing.
It's got its reasons.
Okay. So while you've been distracted by this, Lulu and Trevor took off. The dude's like, huh, I forgot he could do that. Did you know he has wings?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to actually attempt it, though.
You kind of pissed him off.
How?
And then Corvus just leans over. You guys make so many interesting choices.
And you choose to be around us because we're so interesting.
Again, there's the potential to corrupt you.
If we're so easily corrupted, how come you don't have a contract with us?
I don't need to get you to sign a contract. I get credit just for leading you down the wrong path.
So far, I wouldn't say that you've led us.
No,
It's been more me screwing up.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I have. Let's put it this way: you choose what you're going to do with your life. I'm told what I'm going to do with my life. Then I find my way of doing it. Trevor, you are flying over the sand pit, heading to the crystal.
I want to be up, like, if I could gauge how tall that thing was, I want to be above that.
Okay, you can do that.
Until I get, like, over the crystal.
Yeah. We're going to say it'll only take you about a couple of minutes to get over there. Okay, and then Michael finally apparently gets frustrated with debating philosophy with the devil and takes off after you. So the dude's just kind of standing there with Corvus. I forgot he could do that.
You have the flying broom!
I gave it to Trevor.
I didn't take it because I don't need it.
Okay, so you're both flying over the crystal so that the strange sandworm thing isn't able to get to you. And you are able to fly inside the crystal.
Oh, we can?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a canopy, so you're able to get inside of it.
Okay.
And as you get there, you see, well, basically another smaller group of phantoms, and they are standing around a radiant, glowing crystal. It's shaped like a tear.
So that's a celestial tear.
Lulu, do any of these people look familiar to you?
She's looking at them, and before she can say anything, you hear them say, "Do you dare approach her tier?" Where exactly are you guys standing, by the way?
If we came in from the top.
Because you're
maybe,
flying, you can land wherever you want, so.
Yes. Hold on, let me bring myself out. I'd be like there. That
Okay.
works.
But to answer your question, Lulu's like, there were a lot of people in the army. I didn't get a chance to talk to them all.
I was just curious. How does it how does it feel in this area?
I'm going to say that you don't have it's like the hot wind has been. It's almost like being in the shade on a hot day.
Okay. It's kind of pretty in a way, isn't it?
Just don't touch it.
I wasn't going to.
It's one of those things where I just want to warn because thoughts like that can entrap you no matter where you are into doing something.
There's too many people here that want it for whatever reason, and I don't think this is something that should be in the hand of anybody.
No, not this one. This one has a purpose beyond what anybody else could decide on. So.
I look at Lulu.
She's just sort of waiting for you guys to do something. She followed you.
Lulu, do you remember this place at all?
Sort of, but no.
Probably already sent you away by this point, didn't she?
Maybe. The ghosts say again, "Do you dare approach her tier?"
No.
No.
They just stare at you.
Who are you?
We followed the angel here. We stood at her side until the end.
Who were you?
We followed her here. We fought alongside her until the end.
I feel like they're kind of like a living memory, just repeating itself until somebody tries to steal it.
At which point
And
they suddenly activate and then do a defense around.
Then they do the only thing they probably remember how to do.
Lulu just looks at you. Why do you think that something like this belongs here, though?
It doesn't, but I feel like the repercussions of moving it might not be as good as some might think it would be. Because the demons and the devils don't come over here. What happens if we remove it? What happens to all the souls that are here? Safe-ish.
She kind of
Doesn't
looks
seem
at
like
them like, you can be
Doesn't seem
safe
like
in a
they can.
gilded cage, but it's still a cage.
That's right. But if you can find a way to open the cage door, get out, then the cage has no use anymore.
What
The
use
bird's
is
gone.
it?
Sometimes as a protection, sometimes as a prison.
Or it's
Isn't it
both.
always a prison? Does
Maybe.
anyone want to be in a cage?
No, but sometimes that prison is actually a home. If a person is in a caged room, and that is all that they know, while it is a prison, it's the only thing that they know. It is their world, their universe, their home.
That's a
What
very
right do we have?
sad universe. That's a sad world. To only know gray walls, to never see the sky.
The only thing that would worry me is like if we remove this and this protection is gone, what happens to all of these souls?
That's why I don't want to move it until we actually get them out of here.
But you don't know how to get them out.
There has to be a way.
What if the tier is what's keeping them here? What if taking it is what's going to release them?
We can't necessarily stay that, though.
So you'll do nothing because you're afraid of doing something.
If we do something and we do the wrong thing, they're all gone.
And if you do nothing, they are here. So by doing nothing, you're still making a choice to hurt them.
But if we set them free and they become trapped in hell, I'm not sure if that's something I want to wait on me.
She just looks around. They're already trapped in hell.
True.
But right now, they're not.
Being
Right now, there's
devoured
possibly.
or whatever they do, turned into soul
Right.
coins or.
Right now, there's still the chance that we might be able to take them from here.
So
We don't.
Could I
but
make
you're
like
not trying to take them from here. You just said that you won't do anything because you're afraid you're going to hurt them. So you're
With
going to
the
leave
tier.
them in the cage.
I said I wasn't going to do anything with the tier. If I can find a way to get them out of here and to where a positive plane is that they can spend the rest of eternity, I will do that. I don't know a way how to do it, but I will do it.
Though,
because they don't.
So because you don't know what to do, you will do nothing.
It's better that than doing something and messing them up into a worse position than they're in now. Because there are worse things than.
I mean, that's what Zariel
Then they-
thought. And then she thought that it was better to act than to sit by and do nothing. And then she led them all here. So I guess
Who would
that
have
it is best to not act and to leave them where they are.
Until we can act and we know for sure that the action is going to get them out of here.
But how do you know until you try?
who would have a claim on these souls? Like, a cleric dies and his god has claim to him, right?
Yes.
Who would have them?
Except that the other Hell Riders were pulled here even when they abandoned Zariel, because somehow she was able to pull them here out of. And Lulu just kind of gets lost in the tangle of her own logic.
So they could either go to somebody like Torm, or they become more of Zariel's soldiers now. Or they just, I don't know.
Or they become worms, and then they get used and turned into soul coins that then powers a war machine. Or they get, or some of them might end up in the gray wastes, and then they just completely lose track of who they were.
So it's better to leave them here where they will never change, and they will be they'll be locked like this because it's better than risking them.
For right now, because we have no knowledge of what to do to get them out.
But
we
can you find a way? They've been here longer than you've been alive.
Can I get an Arcana
like
check?
I was gonna ask if I could do like a religion.
I'll let you each do your own checks. Okay. The answer is basically the same, for both of you, just from a different point of view. A ghost can be created in a number of ways, but a strong attachment to something can often be that cause. A ghost that wants, was of a person that was murdered wants revenge. Sometimes they become a remnant, and sometimes they become a disembodied ghost. And it could also be that a stronger force has locked them in place. So this could be a case of they are trapped here by something, that controls this plane, like Zariel, or maybe they are locked into a cause. Unfortunately, there is no clear answer, even with your good rolls. This really goes back to the argument you were just having with Corvus. You have a choice here. And you can choose to do nothing, or you can choose to try something. But you will be the ones who have to deal with the consequences of your actions.
I'll just straight up ask one of them, what holds you here?
And he will just look at you, but he doesn't say anything.
Do they do anything if I pull out my symbol of Torm that I have around my neck?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
And they ask you again, do you dare approach her tier?
They're bound to protect it. They're bound to protect it.
I look at Lulu again.
She's still kind of lost in her attempts to defend what Zariel did and seeing the consequences of her actions. It's like she wants to say her best friend did the right thing, but she can outright see that she made the wrong choice. She went against her nature and disobeyed the commands of Mount Celestia.
Lulu, what happened here?
This is where Zariel fell.
This is where she lost hope.
This is like proof that something as pure and full of light as an angel can be corrupted by the darkness of hell. But that doesn't mean that they can't be redeemed. Everybody's worthy of redemption. At least I'd like to think so.
Big win.
I believe so. It's one of the things that keeps me going.
Didn't sound like it before. To you, it's just like, well, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't.
That's the thing. If you put up the argument that people are ruled by their natures, doesn't matter what plane of existence, that the only thing that they have going for them is the very nature of what they are, then what hope is there? Because that means that we don't have choice.
But
That
Lulu
we
looks
don't
at you and
actually.
says, but you were given choice at birth. Creatures such as I and Zariel, we are created for a purpose, and we know that purpose. She misinterpreted hers, but you can always choose. You choose who to follow. You choose what to do. We are told what we will do. We know what we will do.
Look at this, though. A misinterpretation brought about this. I would say that there is a very good, good call for a choice.
But that's because for a being like Zariel to go against her nature broke her. Angels do fall at times because an angel isn't a perfect being. They can be tricked, and if they are even tricked into going against their nature, they fall. We walk a tightrope in trying to do our duty. But mortals, you can always find redemption just by trying to do better. That's the gift that was given to you.
That's the thing, though.
She kind of, motions out to all those damned souls, those devils out there. They no longer have that. They became something different. It doesn't matter what they were before, because what they were before led them to this path. But once they changed, they became locked to the will of Asmodeus. And he cannot change his role in the great balance. That is a gift that is only given to mortals.
There are still repercussions for it. You have much greater power than we, but the repercussions for your choices when you make something wrong equal that to a certain extent in regards to the after effect of what happens when those go wrong.
But you are not bound by a single mistake. You always have the chance to redeem yourself. Look at what I'm trying to do to help Zariel from her one choice, because her choice was a break in what should have been. But you don't fall because you make one poor choice. I've seen you make many of them, and you still have your own choice in what you will do next. When Zariel lost hers,
I keep going because I believe that there is still hope for redemption of myself. Yeah, I can screw up quite a lot.
But no one
And I
has
have.
to spend 100 years trying to redeem you. You can just wake up the next day and say, I'm going to put that behind me and I'm going to do something better.
I wish it would be that easy.
But it is.
But even we ourselves can put ourselves into a mental state where we can think that, but we still act against that want because we've made ourselves into.
But you're not locked in to anything except your own mind. You right now you say that you can't make a choice because you don't know what to do, but you're making a choice not to do anything because you don't know what to do.
And you're making the same choice.
I am trying to save Zariel. That is my purpose. There's still a spark of her goodness left, but if that spark is extinguished, then there will be no hope. But you still have, in fact, for mortals, it's not that that spark can go out. That's what you are. You are that fire. Until that fire goes out, there was always hope for you. But for her, there's just one little bit left, and I have to find it before it's extinguished.
Then let the hope for me keep that hope for her alive then.
But if you can't do anything because you're afraid of doing the wrong thing, then you'll never do anything.
Just because one is
you can't help them because you don't know how to help them, but you don't know how to help them because you can't try to help them without risking them.
I don't trust myself on what I would do with having my hands on that. Because right now, I'm kind of caught between trying to continue a war that was brought upon me through a very stupid decision on my part that made me very visible to those who were working on the chessboard in the background, and wanting to do something for myself that will help her. I can't trust myself in making the decision and following through on it with the best of intent.
So she just turns to Trevor. What do you want to do, Trevor?
Right now, I'm just wondering if we're both here for a reason, Michael. I don't know what that would be. I don't know what sort of sick joke it is, but...
You ever heard the story of Pandora?
I've read about it.
Hope is both the greatest gift and the most horrible weapon to have. Because it can be false or it can be true. If it's true, if it's a true hope, then it is the greatest gift one can have. If it is a false hope, it can be the most devastating weapon in your arsenal.
But you've given up hope.
No, I haven't.
So,
it sounds like I have. It sounds like I have, but I haven't.
If there wasn't any hope for Zariel, I don't believe she would have shed a tear. If she was beyond any sort of redemption, why would she regret anything? Maybe this is something that might, I don't know.
Look, if they activate and they try to attack you, I'll try to hold them off as best as I can. Because I know which way you're leaning. And I don't trust myself to touch that thing without a corrupt influence by my own thoughts.
Well, there's only one of us in this room that wants to kill a god.
Can you blame me for wanting to do that, though?
Yes.
Kind of, yes, actually.
Okay, bad question.
I mean, there are some that maybe should, but until I am put on the path to war with them. But you
this
isn't
said
about
that you
gods.
just want to wage war on all of them.
No, not all of them. Oh God, no, not all of them. I've never said that. I have two that I really want to bring this on because they brought it on me. They've taken my actions and they've made it a part of their game.
But, Michael, I may not have been at the temple.
I know.
But there was a decision that you made. It's kind of like a butterfly effect in a way.
Yeah. But when the consequences started to come down on others, I tried to prevent it.
But it's brought us both here.
But the only way to not hurt anyone is to just sit in a room and never leave.
It's the action paradox.
With every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
So again, the only way to never hurt anyone is to do nothing.
But then that hurts yourself. So you're not hurting. You're not hurting. You're not hurting anyone outside of yourself, but you are hurting yourself.
But you're
so
still
somebody
refusing
is
to
hurt
make
from
a
your
choice because that choice might be the wrong choice.
Every choice can potentially be the wrong one.
I spent 100 years looking for a way to help Zariel, and I was only able to find one. I need to find her sword. That is the only way I can save her.
What about finding her sword will save her?
Because that is what's left of her celestial nature.
Michael points to the tear.
She just looks at it and looks back to you. That is not her spark.
But it's caused by her spark. Could this potentially be used? Could this potentially be used to find her? As in her. The bit of her that is still within the sword.
I don't know how it could. That is a distilled radiance, but that doesn't mean it's directly connected to her. It's like the magic you weave. You're able to wield it, but it's not directly a part of you. It's something that goes through you. The radiance that she wielded back then, it was what fueled her fire, but that tear is just a part of that energy. It was just her sorrow that she shedded.
What do you mean that I'm only a conduit for the power that I use? I thought that how my talents are, it actually was drawn from myself. I touch the weave of the world, and I see the fabric of magic.
But that magic the magic is, yes, it is a part of you in that you take it in, but is the food you eat you?
It becomes a part of me because I take it in.
But then it leaves you again later. It leaves
Not always.
You use the energy of it to fuel your life. But if she's trying to find a way to say this, like, if I cut off your hand, is the hand, it becomes just an inanimate object, doesn't it?
But it can still be used against me because of its connection to me.
But in time, that connection will fade.
Depending upon
the sword that she wielded, that was a part of her. It was more than just her symbol. It was the weapon that she was brought into existence with.
It's what she was created to do. She was a warrior. She was created to fight.
And because of
sword is
that,
part of her.
it is a connection to what she once was. That is her connection to her celestial nature. That tear is just well, it is basically radiant energy in a solid form. Angels have shed tears before, but they cannot be used as a weapon against that angel.
I'm not talking about it as a weapon against her. I'm talking about it as a way of showing a connection. In order for her to have produced this, she has to be a celestial. In order for her to have her
She
sword,
produced that tear when she was a celestial. But the tear itself is it's just a crystal. It just happens to be a very powerful crystal that was created by a celestial being, yes, but that will not help me save my friend. The sword is what I need to find to save her. That contains her spark. That's why she told me to hide the sword, is because that was the last bit of her. The last part of her that was an angel is in that sword. But
the
that
main
tear
question with
means
this
nothing.
is the main question with this. What this does is it keeping these souls prisoner. They're protecting them. They're both. There's a consequence and a reward for removing it. I just can't figure out what one might be greater.
The thing of it as well is this. Humans are very unique in the fact that we can give a specialness to items, to objects. Something isn't just created because this action happened. We tend to give importance to those. The importance of the tear is that it's come about through a very specific action. The importance of that action is that it's linked into her nature. The importance of that nature is the connection that it has to her and her very being. So
I think
there's
it's
a
more
line.
symbolic for her.
Yeah. So is this symbolism her way of having that last bit of protection over those men that she had before she realized that she had made a great mistake and then just gave in to the error and tried to protect that little bit of herself left?
And what if it was just a tear that she shed because she felt bad for what she did?
There's still a significance in that.
Yes, but I'm saying that when you cry, you're not trying to protect people around you. It's just a reaction.
But the emotion
All
drives
I
it.
know is that I need to find the sword, and if you're just going to stand here and keep debating what to do, then you can't help me. And I need to go.
Trevor, what do you think is best to do?
I've made a lot of stupid decisions so far. What's one more?
Then what's the stupid decision, and I'll help.
I'll take a step forward.
Michael readies himself to start trying to keep those guys on him as best as he can if they activate to attack.
They all focus back on Trevor and again say, "Do you dare approach her here?"
Yes. I'll take
What
another
do
step.
you offer in exchange?
Oh. Michael walks up.
Freedom. Freedom.
You already have your freedom.
But you don't have yours.
It is not yours to give or yours to take. And they all take one step forward.
Why is it not his to give or take to you?
He cannot take our freedom. He cannot give our freedom.
Why not?
What do you offer for the tier?
What was that, Andy? You cut out.
What do you offer for the tier?
Zariel's redemption.
They just look at you waiting for more.
The tear is symbolic of the fall of a celestial being. But that doesn't mean that it has a right to keep her followers prisoner. With her redemption, if she is redeemed, her followers should be redeemed as well. Is freed, you shouldn't have to be prisoner here either.
We stand sentinel. We are not chained. What is it that you bring to this place?
My own hope.
They all turn
Hope?
to you, Michael.
The hope that people can change, that just because you fall once doesn't mean you can't rise again. Not just for ourselves, but anyone.
Blessings
Oh.
upon those who would bring hope to a hopeless place. Approach, but beware. If you take this tear, you will leave your own in its place. Every tear you have shed, every tear you will shed. And with that, they take a step back.
Interesting.
Was that to Michael? Or
They
to
just
Trevor?
said it with your
Just
line.
in general.
Michael just places his hand on the tier and motions for I can't remember her name.
Lulu?
Lulu to join him in putting his hand on it as well. Her paw or
Lulu
trunk.
just looks at you and says, "This is not my place to intervene. This is a choice for mortals only."
But what if this is a way to save her as well?
I don't think it is.
This is not
think it's
my
just-
place to intervene. This is your choice.
I'll place my hand next to Michael's and just be like, you know, my brother and I were the complete opposites.
You know, you're the only family that I have besides Rihanna.
For being family, she doesn't really seem to stick around. You're the only one that has had my back this entire time.
She and I have our own ways of being happy together.
I'm not talking about that. Honestly,
I
I
know.
could care less about that.
No, I know, but it's sort of how we have each other's back. Wherever one is, the other has home. That's something that we never really grew up with. So where one is, the other will always have a place to call home. I know that I'm a bit of a screw up at times, but
At
wherever I am,
times.
I
But
do
then
have
again,
I do have tiny moments. Give me those tiny moments.
then again, I'm no better.
Yeah.
I've
But no matter where I am, you will always have counsel. You will always have somebody there who's willing to put themselves beside you, literally through hell and back.
well, if anything, it's pretty to look at. And it feels warm. I don't know. Stop making stupid decisions.
I'm trying. Some of them have very good logic. Some of them are just me
Guessing that's us
trying to not screw up.
and they
Really honestly trying not to screw up.
Well, at least we're trying to solve this. But are we touching the tier?
We're pretty much like our hands are clasping over it, I would think. Like sort of each of us have
This is literally like the size and shape of a tear. You know,
Okay.
it's very small, but it produces a lot of light.
Okay.
I trust you on what you're going to decide on this. Michael withdraws his hand from it.
Andy, is there like any sort of like religion or intelligence roll or something I can make for them to, for Trevor to fully understand what they meant by
You can
your tears will replace it?
No, not really. This is very undocumented. I mean, you can make a religion roll to know the significance of an angel's tear to other people, but this is one of those risks you have to take. An angel's tear has been, it's sort of like a holy artifact. Like in some places when they can be found on the mortal plane, like that whole area is, sanctified. In fact, if it's, at the mouth of a river, then for like a mile you have naturally occurring holy water. Places of, temples will be built around them. And those are places of respite for the people who are within its boundaries.
So the significance of a tier here.
This is, think of
it's
this
just
as if Avernus is in its natural state, this is an invading object. This is the equivalent of a disease in a normal body. Only the difference is this the normal body is a horrible thing in this case, but this is still this is like having a splinter in you. Well, a very this is more like having a hot spark hit you.
Okay. So removing it would be good for the place, in a way.
It would return balance to all the planes, in a sense. You have something good inside of a plane that is supposed to be evil. That in and of itself causes a disbalance in sort of the cosmic way things are supposed to be.
Let's put it this way: like let's say you have a splinter, your body works to get it out.
Mm-hmm. Fuck.
Okay, guys, my food has gotten cold a long time ago, so Andy's just going to ask you to please pull the trigger in one way or the other.
Michael's going to say a quick prayer to Mask to guide the souls to where they're supposed to be, no matter what Trevor chooses here.
I'll leave it.
It's not supposed to be here.
Trevor, since you did get a 21, again, you know that this is the equivalent of an infection. And that means that Avernus doesn't want it here.
So eventually Avernus could destroy it.
It would find a way to nullify what doesn't belong. I mean, even you guys have to. I don't make you do all the rolls because you have pretty, but you know that mortals here can be affected by the plane. An angel was corrupted here.
Point taken. Okay. So I'm gonna be making a new character. He'll say a quick prayer to Torum and
Make a wisdom save for me.
yeah. Oh yeah, my whole +0. This is gonna be great.
I'm going to give you the 20. But
no, be fair. If I fucked up, I fucked up.
No, I made it my own roll also. I'm just going to say that you feel, as you touch this tear, you feel every joy and every sorrow you've ever felt all at once. The mix of emotions rushes around you and drains away, leaving you feeling very little at the moment. It's a sense of melancholy. And the souls around you begin to vanish one by one.
Michael moves to hold up Trevor through this all as well.
And because you are getting the 20, you get the feeling that this will pass. You are basically trading your sorrow for hers at the moment. But you are mortal and you are not bound by the chains of a higher power. And we are going to leave it there for this week. I don't really know how to wrap up such an episode as this because I think that I think it's best to just leave it right where it is. And we will be back in 1 week with Kyle running Dragon Heist. Unless, of course, you're going to start running your own channel. We'll talk about that later. But we'll be back in.
It really depends on how things go for you. If I'll end up running my own channel. So.
Okay. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and leave this here. Trevor is now in possession of an Angel's Tear. And we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll see how you guys decide to take your other morally questionable decisions. We'll see you later.